behemoth of a week. This is, like sometimes where it's like, we got one thing to deal with, and some weeks we're like, it's a whole potpourri smorgasbord. This week, it's like a lot and a lot of different stuff. It's
none of it's the same.
This is like going to Golden fucking Corral. This is the Golden Corral of RageSelect podcast. Everything's kind of stinky. You probably shouldn't be eating this, but like it's unlimited refill.
Here's the fun thing. I like going to Golden Corral, and Jeff does not.
I've never actually been to Golden Corral.
I've been to it a lot of times.
Yeah. I'm more of a sizzler man myself. I'm more into the sizzler
That's
than anything
fair.
else.
When I was growing up, it was a sirloin steak thing, but the only one nearby is like in Round Rock here, so
yeah,
it's always Golden Corral now.
All right,
but I haven't been in a while. I mean, I've been meaning to go for a while.
Well, welcome back to the Golden Corral podcast. I am Jeff,
and I'm Mike, and I always get the steaks.
Yeah, I you know what? I've never been to one of the Brazilian steakhouses. I feel like this is my destiny, right? Where I'm like, you never get enough meat. And here's just men with swords to give you more meat. And
That's
I'm
true.
like, I love swords. I love meat. But I've never gone. So
I've never gone to one of those either, to be honest.
I went to an all-you-can-eat barbecue place a month ago, and that almost killed me. But
yeah, you told me about that because you're like, if you put food in front of me, it's going into me.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm full, and I'm like, and I'm just thinking, like, well, when has that ever stopped me? Those are just ribs. There's barely any meat on those ribs. You could have like 3 more ribs. It's like, yeah, but I'm full. And it's like, shut up and eat more ribs.
Shut up, nerd. Eat those ribs.
We got a lot this week. There's going to be some glossing. We're going to have some glossing. We're going to gloss over.
We're going to gloss over some stuff.
We're going to gloss over some stuff because
there's too much stuff.
We have big news from Microsoft. We also have 3 different presentations. And I got to tell you, Michael, that I only made it through 5 out of the 7 hours of Larian's Baldur's Gate 3 presentation. And I am not ashamed that at some point I was just like, you got to stop. You got to stop telling me about Baldur's Gate 3. I've already bought it. I already bought it.
Did they just tell you the whole plot?
No, but they told me some other stuff, and I'm going to be more than happy to tell everybody else about it. But before we get to that, goddamn, I've watched and listened to so many things. I feel like there's so many things that I could talk about, but I want to talk about Asteroid City because I watched Asteroid City.
And I also did.
Last week. You watched Asteroid City last week, and I was a little with Asteroid City. I feel like you've seen most of you've seen all of Wes Anderson's.
I've seen pretty much 90% of it.
Okay.
There's a few blind spots.
I haven't seen Moonrise Kingdom. I've seen half of Budapest Hotel.
I haven't seen the train one. The one with Schwartzman and Wilson.
Brain.
The Road to Something.
No,
I can't remember it.
My brain just keeps saying the Brothers Karamazov.
The Something Express.
The Darjeeling Limited.
Yeah, Darjeeling Limited.
So
I've never seen that one.
Okay, I think that I think this is a broad thing. Okay, so nerds, do not come at me because it's a broad thing, right? That broadly speaking, Wes Anderson films are divided into 2 different types of films. I'm going to call one of them plot, and I'm going to call one of them vibes. And like plot films are a Wes Anderson movie where like there's an objective, and along the way we're going to meet a quirky cast of characters and do stuff. I would put The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Isle of Dogs. In a lot of ways, I think The French Dispatch was 3 different stories, but they had a beginning and a middle and an end, right?
Those all have very distinct things that are going on.
Right. And that the other one is vibes, and I would put like Royal Tenenbaums in there. Like the plot of Royal Tenenbaums is not as important as like
not really.
The characters.
It's more of the vibes of everybody.
Darjeeling Limited, I feel like, is like that. I think Fantastic Mr. Fox kind of falls into that category a little bit.
It's about 50-50 on that one.
Yeah. And okay, so I like the Wes Anderson movies where there's like an objective, and this was not one of those.
No, Grand Budapest Hotel is the other one that's like very objective based.
Yeah.
But this one, it feels like it's supposed to be, but it isn't, which is my issue with it.
Yeah.
Because like at first I was like, hey, this is kind of fun, because the thing about Wes Anderson is a lot of his movies, at least a lot of his later movies, have a specific like backdrop that presents the information to you in a distinct way.
Sure.
Life Aquatic, I think, has the perfect way of doing it, where it's like this is Steve Zissou's ship, and then it does all these like little explanations and stuff. It's this fun little thing because they're filming a documentary.
Sure.
Where this one's just like, this is a play. And I'm like, okay, well that's kind of cool, but then it just keeps cutting to these weird especially this one sequence that is like, what was the point of this specific sequence that happens in like the middle of it involving ice cream at a window, and you were just like, what the fuck was that? I don't understand. But every time it went back to the actual like the play story, I was like, this is what I like. This is the part of this movie I want to focus on. And they're like, that's great. Let's not focus on that again. I'm like, fuck you.
It's like, no, we have a meta point to make, question mark? Maybe? I'm not even sure. Like,
well, I my understanding of the message, because I started thinking about it more, and then I also saw Jason Schwartzman talk about it, was a little bit about grief. That how people process things in general differently. And which is very obvious when you watch the movie for certain characters. Like some characters are like very much into, like there's this one kid who's constantly just like, do you dare me to do this thing?
Oh, right.
And the dad's just like, what the fuck, dude? But then but I loved Augie's character because he's just like, in the beginning of the movie, it's you find out that he's lost his wife. And he's just like, he's lost the ability to feel. He's just like, I don't give a fuck about any of this.
Right.
And so you're watching him try to figure out his life now through that, but you're also seeing his family going through some stuff, which you see. But then you see the quirky cast of characters show up to Asteroid City, and some of them have a point, and some of them definitely do not have a point.
Well, it's one of the issues that I have a lot of times with some Wes Anderson movies. Like, I think that French Dispatch, it works really good in French Dispatch.
It works very well in French Dispatch.
But like in this one, it was just like, you've got too many actors. There's literally just like, you need some extras, motherfucker. You need some people who are not, you don't need, like, you need the manager of the hotel to not be Steve Carell, like just some guy, because it
would have worked a little better if he was just some guy.
In a lot of ways, somewhat distracting to me because you have this whole cast of characters inside of Asteroid City, and then you have the meta component that has even more people in it, and where you're just like, okay. So the thing is that it ain't for Jeff. I'm out of my meandering artistic stuff. But the thing is that I've seen a lot of people say this, and I really do think this is one of the best descriptions of the movie, where it was like, it's almost like Bill Murray and Wes Anderson were having a quirky drink in a bar playing some 70s prog rock, and Murray's like, Wes, I think you've maxed out the amount of Wes Anderson you could have in one movie. I think you've reached, with the French Dispatch, you got the animated sequence, you got
that motherfucking thing is gorgeous.
You got all these monologues, these like wordy monologues. It's in black and white, and then it's in color, and then it's not. I think you reached max Wes Anderson. There is no Wes Anderson to go from here. And he's like, William, please. There's always more Wes Anderson for the movies. And
I
he's
haven't
like,
even begun to peak.
I dare you to make a more Wes Anderson movie than The French Dispatch. And he was like, oh, yeah? Done.
He's like, I have a Roadrunner puppet to prove it. And
Right.
like, okay, cool.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to shoot this thing like a watercolor advertisement from 1962 for some reason. Like, where it's intentionally color graded wrong.
Yeah. And it was a movie that I'm like, I like that. I like that, but it was the first time I left a Wes Anderson movie being like, I didn't love that like at all.
Tone it
like,
down.
I liked it, but I don't love that. And it's one of those movies that if somebody walked up to me and they're like, I just fucking hated that movie, I'm like, I literally cannot blame you.
Yeah.
Like there's just like you saying all that stuff. I'm like, I have no argument against literally anything.
Well,
because I only went through it because I like Wes Anderson a lot, and I'm cool with a lot of his Wes Anderson isms.
Yeah.
But even the people I've known who are super hardcore fucking Wes Anderson fans, even they came out being like, that was too much.
Yeah.
That was like French Dispatch was just right for them.
Yes.
But anything past that point, and especially, and I think it's proven you've gone too far. You need to pull back, bro.
Well, I'm sure that it's fine for some people, because like I do think that Royal Tenenbaums falls into that, and I really like Royal Tenenbaums, but like it was
that
like
one balances it really well.
It was just the right amount.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't kind of go overboard. You know what Royal Tenenbaums didn't have was it didn't have the weird meta element.
No.
And that I think was what threw me off, where it was like
the closest meta element is the fact that it's narrated by Alec Baldwin.
Right. Which is just kind of delightful.
Yeah, it's just a delightful thing. Because a lot of people narrate his stories. Because Grand Budapest Hotel, that one has a specific. That one has a meta story, but it's got a double meta story with it.
Yeah.
Which is the reason I know it can work, because the thing about Grand Budapest Hotel is that the beginning of it, it's about a bunch of people mourning the death of an author who wrote a book about the Grand Budapest Hotel,
and then it flashes back
to him talking
to the guy
who then tells him the story.
Yes, yeah.
Of the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
But there's never a point where it feels wrong whenever it cuts back out.
Yeah.
Because you're still solemnly looking at a guy telling the story of his life, and he'll talk about something, and then he'll just sort of stop.
Yeah.
and it's clear that he's just like in the moment, like either sad or happy or that he's remembering it. And then by the time it's done, you're like, man, that was depressing. Like it's super delightful. And then in the last 20 minutes, they're like, and then everything went horribly wrong. And you're like, okay.
Don't say no more, because I went back and I watched French Dispatch just to make sure that I wasn't like in a bad mood or fucking curmudgeonly or something. And I was like, no, I like this way more than Asteroid City.
Yeah.
And then I went back because I've never seen Grand Budapest Hotel. I started watching that. I got about halfway through, and then like I had some shit I had to take care of, and so I had to stop. And I haven't gone back to it yet, so I've only seen like the first half of Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, I love that movie up until a point. My ex-roommate, he loved it so much, he watched it fucking constantly after it came out on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Which then made me slowly kind of hate it for a bit.
Of course.
Because I hated I can't say why because you haven't seen it, but I kind of hate the ending, and that's the only reason that movie isn't like near perfect to me.
Was it Gene Hackman has a heart attack and he dies?
No, because I like the way that's handled. It's like there's so much like tragedy at the end of that movie that you're just like, that was a bit too much tragedy at once.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Whereas where I didn't feel like that with a lot of those other movies that he's done. Like my favorite of all time will still be Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
It's very good
because it's to me it's the perfect balance of everything.
Yep.
It's got this great little meta to it. It's quirky, but it's also very emotional.
Yep.
And by the end of it, you're just like,
makes me cry every time.
Yeah,
man.
I fucking lose it every time at the end when he says, "I wonder if it remembers me."
Yep.
And I just like, damn, this movie's amazing.
Also, just like the difference between like I really appreciated the fact that we used to listen to the soundtrack of Life Aquatic all the time because it's like acoustic guitar Portuguese covers of David Bowie songs.
I used to have it on one of my phones until I lost that phone, and now I don't have them anymore.
Very interesting soundtrack. Anyway,
it's fantastic. I love that movie.
Go watch Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, and go watch do whatever you want. I think Asteroid City is on VOD, and it's like it's down to like rent it for $5. I'm not telling you not to watch it. I'm just saying what I thought of it. So.
If you like Wes Anderson, you'll like it. If you don't, then you're definitely not going to like it.
Yeah.
That's what I will say about it.
It was a choice between watching that or that Transformers Beast Warrior
Rise of the Beast,
Rise of the Triad. I watched the artsy fartsy film to eat my intellectual vegetables, and it was all just boiled Brussels sprouts and it smelled like farts. Damn.
No amount of cheese was saving it.
That's right. Okay. News. Time for the news. You know what? I know that everybody is sick of hearing Michael and Jeff talk about the Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, FTC regulation
We were
stuff.
so close.
And we were almost out of the woods. Because last week they finally came to a decision, and the judge, what was that judge's name?
I don't remember. It was
Judge Corley?
Yeah.
God, I'm so burping. Jacqueline Corley. Had a good. She came to a resolution and said that she would not. Confirm. She would not uphold the
conjunction.
The block.
The block conjunction.
They were put on a. Come on. Yeah. FTC was attempting to block the acquisition. That was when they did all that stuff. She came back, and she has a really good argument. And I think it's kind of what you and I were talking about, which was like the FTC did not demonstrate that this merger would stymie competition. And in fact, the fact that they were going to be putting Call of Duty on the Switch, and that these deals for Microsoft to put it on other PC streaming platforms besides xCloud meant that actually more people would be able to play Call of Duty. They were not able to prove, except in like a really nebulous way, that like the moment that this deal went through, Microsoft was going to yank Call of Duty off of PlayStation. And in fact, everything that Microsoft has been signaling says that like at least for 10 years, Microsoft has been saying for a while now, like,
100%.
I will put this contract. The guy said he was carrying the contract around, right? To like throw at Jim Ryan to be like, here's the contract. 10 years. 10 years. And they put fucking, what was one of the people on the stand? And they were like, are you going to take it off PlayStation? He's like, no, I'm not going to.
They kept trying to get, and the other part of their explanation for their verdict was like, all you had was PlayStation shit.
Yeah.
You wouldn't stop talking about Jim Ryan's talking points and that. It's like you didn't present anything that wasn't just a PlayStation argument.
Yes.
And that really hurt their arguments immensely, because they're like, when we were last on, I mentioned there are specific arguments that you can present about anti-consumerism when it comes to this, but none of those things were used. It was all about PlayStation being like, look at me, I'm just a small humble man. You can't take the Call of Duties from me. And every time Microsoft was like, by the way, they're fucking kicking everyone's ass.
Look at their earnings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not like the humble dude that they keep claiming they are. They're the fucking top dog right now.
Yep.
And then they just had that like side eye every time.
Well, okay, so if we want to break it down a little bit further, it's like, I think to my spin on this, I have a couple of things to say about this, but not too much, because fuck, man,
there's a lot, and we're not lawyers.
One, I think that the FTC and Sony's talking points, that they need to revise their argument in a way that doesn't exclude the Nintendo Switch or the PC. Because that, to me, is ridiculous. Anybody who actually knows this industry is like, that's fucking ridiculous. That you want to be like, yeah, well, it's just the Xbox and the PlayStation. It's like, what about the Nintendo Switch? You can't talk about the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch doesn't have anything to do with this. It's like, it's a video game platform. It doesn't have anything to do with this. La, 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 la. Like, that's the argument. And then like, well, what about like the PC? Like, everybody has a PC. What about the personal computer? And as near as I could tell, I'd never even seen them attempt to argue that like Microsoft would ever that anything about the PC market. It's like they want to narrow the focus, but you can't just artificially narrow the focus to just this one little piece of the console war, the PlayStation and the Xbox.
I get why they tried, because the idea was that the idea the FTC was probably trying to argue was that this was about console gaming consumers. But again, they didn't argue that at all, like, because like again, I come back to it, there were definitely ways you can argue this specific case that would have worked better, and they did none of them.
So I think that they need to need to revise their arguments. Also, I want to address something. Somebody wrote a comment. I told you about this week. Somebody wrote a comment that was talking about how the last time that we talked about this, where they were saying that they feel like that one of the mantras that I've had a lot of times on here is that I want these corporations to fight each other.
Yes.
Because by fighting each other, that means that we, the consumer, end up getting good deals. Stuff like Game Pass. I mean, hell, we've always used the example that like the only reason you get free games on PlayStation Plus is because Sony needed to figure out a way to combat Xbox Gold by, giving people something. The only reason you get free games on the Epic Game Store is because they are trying to compete with Steam, and they have to just spend billions giving games away. And the same, I think, is true of Game Pass, of like the biggest draw for the Xbox right now is not console exclusives, it is Game Pass, because Game Pass gives you a lot of games for this monthly subscription. And so somebody in the comments before was saying, I don't want to like put anybody on blast, but they were basically just saying like, so I think that Microsoft acquiring Activision reduces the amount of competition in the market, and therefore will be worse for consumers, because it will mean that Microsoft won't have as much of a reason to fight to be equitable to customers as a way to try to draw them into the Xbox ecosystem. But after thinking about it, I go the opposite way and say, if you actually look at the financials, Sony is so far out in front here. It is Sony that needs to be forced to compete in the market, not Microsoft. Microsoft is already competing, spending gajillions of dollars. They got the Xbox Series S. They got Game Pass. The PlayStation didn't have, you remember when the Xbox Series X came out? You could buy it on an installment plan, right? You couldn't do that shit with a PlayStation 5. You couldn't do that with a Switch.
You couldn't even find one.
They're giving away Game Pass like candy all the time. They've got all this stuff. Like, I think Microsoft is giving consumers a hell of a deal on everything except for console exclusive AAA games. And Sony, on the other hand, is like, their offerings are anemic as fuck. Like the stuff they're putting on the PlayStation Plus, it's fine, but it's not a draw. Like, they're only doing it out of obligation because Game Pass exists, right? Like, their streaming tech has been dog shit for years, and like suddenly now they're like paying more attention. I think that I want to see Microsoft financially nipping at the heels of Sony to make Sony be better. like just I want them to have more than 2 console exclusives a year. I want their PS5 offerings to be really, really top notch. And like I think that the way that you do that is letting this acquisition go through, because it will light a fire under Sony to try to do things to keep their market share, as opposed to just coasting on Call of Duty, like guaranteed Call of Duty every year. We got this amount of money coming in.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to come up with a way to be like, if Microsoft snatches Call of Duty away from us, like, what are we going to do? And that is what I think is going to actually foster more creativity. Hell, at this point, the PlayStation should have dropped in price. Like,
well, back in the time, they would release a different version of it.
Yes.
Which is one of the reasons it would go down in price eventually. But that hasn't happened to either of them.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, that's not entirely true. The Xbox Series S, I don't know if that one went slightly cheaper. I don't remember if that was the case with them announcing the new one.
I mean, I don't want to put that as like a big argument, because neither of them have really done it. But I really do think, though, that the problem is that when you look at Sony and you look at Microsoft, you're just looking at like their cultural cachet, right? You're not looking at the financials.
No.
The financials is what's going to force Sony to give people like a better deal, right? To give away more stuff, better deals, better games, better stuff. And like, as long as Microsoft is so solidly in third place and Sony has a death grip on Japan and Europe, like Xbox, it can give away all the free Game Pass games that they want, and like it's still not going to put a dent in the market until they have something like Starfield or Call of Duty or something big that's going to force people, something like Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
They don't have a Spider-Man, and they've decided the way they're going to get a Spider-Man is by buying the studio that makes Spider-Man and just being like, fuck you guys, we just bought the studio. So I think there's an argument from my perspective that can be made, say that this could actually be a better deal for people in the long run, because it will force Sony and some of the other publishers into doing different things, as opposed to just, because if you think of Call of Duty, Microsoft Activision, or Activision Blizzard King, as like this big monolith, right? You just be guaranteed, right? There's going to be a Diablo. It's going to come out for everything. It's going to make a shitload of money. But if there's a possibility that Elder Scrolls 6 might be an Xbox exclusive, it means that Sony needs to get off their asses and remaster Bloodborne, for fuck's sake. Well, that's all that it is.
The issue we will always have with this specific thing is that no one knows what will happen once the actual whole thing is finalized. Because the main thing is it's, even though they won this part of the case, they fucking appealed.
Yeah,
the FTC's appealed.
FTC appealed
this.
Yep.
And so
it's going to Ninth Circuit.
So we're going to see what happens from there. But once it finally solidifies and it's confirmed, everybody's dotted the I's, made sure all the X's are done, X's and O's and whatever. I don't know enough of these terms.
Dot the I's and cross the X's.
I'm tired. Okay, but I don't actually don't remember the phrase anymore.
T's.
But,
cross the T's.
Well, people put X's for signatures too, so that's a whole thing. That's a thing. Don't you fucking try to fight me on that one.
I'm not. I'm just gonna let you go. You just go. You go. We've got too much news to derail.
We got too many things. But yes, the thing is, the main thing that I was trying to say is that we don't know, because we've been having that exact argument since the first announcement of even the deal beginning.
Yeah.
Is what happens from here.
Yes.
Like, and one of them is what you said. The other one is like, what if Microsoft just went crazy and just was like, mine, and just like ported them in such a weird way that like they didn't make anything else. And you're like, well, there's like in my opinion, there's no way that's going to happen. Phil Spencer is such a weird dude that he's just going to be like, all of these things now need to be games like yesterday. Like, I have a feeling he's going to look at he's going to go through a bunch of these IPs and start throwing them at studios.
Sure.
Because it's you would be stupid to not do that.
But the thing is that the thing that at the end of the day, the existential crisis, and the reason that I don't have a strong feeling about this is because, like, man, there is no way to know. There is absolutely no way to know. Like, Microsoft could take possession of Activision Blizzard King, and we could have a fucking gaming renaissance where all your favorite characters came back again. They whip all the Blizzard studios back into shape, give them autonomy where Bobby Kotick isn't breathing down their neck. Call of Duty is better than it's been in years, and fucking everybody is winning for a long time. Or they can take all of them and remove everything from the PC and be like, the only place that you can play Call of Duty ever for the history of all mankind is an Xbox Series X and nothing else. No Switch, no PlayStation, no nothing. But the thing is that you can't. I think that you have to let this stuff play out because the video game industry mutates and changes.
100%.
It changes, and then a new status quo is appealed, and then it's like, okay, well, here's the new status quo. What are we going to do to break this up? I want the status quo to be broken up, and I think that
there's a precedent for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
When Microsoft and Nintendo shook hands, they're like, cross-play for everything.
Right.
And PlayStation was in the corner going, no,
yeah,
my network.
Right.
Everyone fucking turned on them.
Yeah.
And now there's so many games with cross-play right now.
Yeah. So I don't think you can actually just say with 100% certainty that like this is going to be a bad thing. I don't know what it's going to be. But I can say that we've seen titans of the video game industry fall. We've seen, seen
the battles of the Marios and the Sonics.
Yeah, fucking Sega, man, used to be one of these characters in the story. They're nothing now. Atari? Are you kidding me?
Atari
like they
used to be the bomb.
They fucking own the place. Like there are big sea changes that happen, and I just don't think that like. I don't think that trying to maintain the current
like
gaming...
a Final Fantasy 16 map.
I don't think that trying to maintain the current gaming status quo when it comes to like who owns who and what is worth it. Or if you want to make an argument, then my argument is like everybody has to give the studios back. Bethesda has to go independent. Bungie has to go independent. Like you can't buy the studios because it can't just be that this one is too much money, but the other ones are fine.
Yeah.
But Elder Scrolls 6 is fine if we take Elder Scrolls away from everybody except for Xbox gamers. No, that's fine. If Bungie is just making games for PlayStation now, if Destiny becomes a PlayStation exclusive, if Destiny 3 is a PlayStation exclusive, like I think everybody should have to give all the studios back.
That's the tricky thing. It's like, what is the line? And the problem is no one, like, to me the line is clearly when it's obvious that you are going to be a monopoly, but that's not what I don't feel like that's what this is.
What it is.
Because Activision has only been known for Call of Duty for so long,
right,
that I don't even remember what other games they make.
There are plenty of people that are listening to this podcast that don't play Activision, Blizzard, or King games. They don't play Call of Duty. They don't play. I don't play that
Candy
shit
Crush.
right now. Yeah.
They don't play Crash Rumble, whatever the fuck that thing was.
You remember the stuff that came out of the lawsuit with Epic? Remember how much fucking money Epic Games makes?
Just off of Fortnite.
Holy shitballs. Yep. Like, they are a titan of industry all on their own. So, anyway, but yes, it is going to appeal. By the way, to the person who commented, I'm not trying to put you on blast. It just got me thinking about this other way of thinking about stuff. So, and I'd be more than willing to listen to anybody that wants to make an argument about why this doesn't happen that isn't just based on like, well, this might happen. Like, I need more concrete evidence of...
My uncle works for Activision. He says that they're going to stop whipping people.
Well, one of the things, one of the things I said in the Discord, I think I said this to you before, was that like Microsoft has a monopoly on operating systems.
100%.
I mean, there's Linux. There's Mac OS. Whatever.
Is there Linux, though, Jeff? Is there?
No, there's totally Linux. I've run Linux before. It sucks. Yeah, that's right. Fuck you. It does suck. I tried it, and it does suck. It's better than it used to be, but it still fucking sucks.
But what if you install the 5,000 or 6,000 things you need to make it work as a normal
open up
computer?
a terminal and start typing in sudo something. Yeah. But Microsoft has had a de facto monopoly on PC operating systems for years, and they have not abused that in a significant way.
Well, not since, the last time they got into a fight with the FTC.
True. Like, the thing is that I think that you cannot tell, and you can't just be like, well, no one company should have this much power. And it's like, well, that's great because that's a sliding scale. So I want to slide it all the way down, and they all got to give back the fucking Double Fine has to go independent again. And if they go out of business, oops, I guess whatever. Like,
whatever works, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the thing. We don't know what the line is, and the line will not be crossed unless there was literally only one gaming company left.
The only way to find out is to fuck around.
Yes. And people are trying to fuck around, but they haven't found out entirely yet.
True. So yeah, FTC is appealing the decision. We will find out what that happens. I don't know. Isn't this whole thing is supposed to be wrapped up by next Tuesday, right?
Well,
like,
if the appeal doesn't go through, it could be done by next Tuesday.
okay,
Because what it is that the original FTC blockage was the only thing keeping them from finalizing it in America.
right.
And then once they got past it, and so everybody was like, okay, we're all good now. All we gotta do now is finalize it.
Yeah.
And so the FTC is just this is the FTC's final chance
Yeah.
to kill the deal. And so we'll see how that plays out.
But it's not the final chance to totally kill the deal because the CMA.
Again, I said in America.
Yeah, no. I know. This is my
about the Country
transition.
Music Awards?
This is my transition. No, actually, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I'm getting a little fucking pissy about the CMA.
The Country Music Awards is a very strange place.
About the Competition and Markets Authority in the UK, where they're just like, everybody agrees to this, and they're like, well, okay, guys, come to the table and we'll figure the carve outs that we need for you guys to approve this. And they're like, well, if you change the deal, we're going to have to do a full, a complete reevaluation of the entire deal from the beginning. And it's like, okay, guys, like, seriously.
This is kind of funny. I didn't expect them to be the giant thorn in the side. I thought it was just going to only be the FTC.
Yeah. They're literally, I don't know if you saw the things where they came out and they were just like, well, if you altered the deal, then the deal must be reevaluated from the ground up. And it's like,
I did see that.
Because their whole thing was about the streaming services, right?
Yeah, they were all about the about
xCloud.
Online xCloud stuff.
Yeah. So the idea that Microsoft wants to come back and they want to like carve out, like they've talked about doing like, well, we'll just carve out streaming Call of Duty in the UK, right? No streaming Call of Duty in the UK. And then that will take care of the thing that you wrote on a piece of paper. And they're like, nope, got to start over. Got to start over. Got to start over. And it's like, all right. So I actually, just because now I'm a little bit interested to see how this would go down, I kind of want to see what happens, because it has been floated, this idea where it's like, okay, so the UK will not approve Microsoft to acquire Activision. So Microsoft acquires Activision everywhere else, and Activision closes in the UK. They just like dissolve all UK assets, offices, and organizations in the UK. And now Microsoft is there. They're just like, you can't buy Call of Duty here, but you can still buy Microsoft games here. But Activision doesn't exist in this country anymore.
Well, the other argument is that it'll just be a random section that's just called Activision UK.
Right.
Just randomly in the fucking middle of the UK.
Spin it off into like the fucking shed out
and
back.
It's going to be like, okay, I guess.
Yep. I guess. Like, so in the UK, just in the UK, Activision still exists.
They're just like a random publisher at that point.
Do that. Make Bobby Kotick go over there. You guys take him. You can have him.
You can make that Death Valley speech again.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Yeah. You just put him over there. He's going to hate it. He's going to hate it.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be amazing.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. I'm really interested to see how they resolve this, because it seems like the CMA has decided that they've got the biggest balls of them all, and that they're gonna stand astride the tide of history and be like, no, you can't do it.
Out of everybody,
stop it.
Out of all of the corporations, or not corporations, but all of the government entities, that's what I was looking for. They're the ones I was least expecting this from.
Yep.
My favorite is Canada, though, who decided to be like, I don't know about this, and they're like, you sit your ass down. Your deadline was 2 weeks ago, motherfucker.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay, and so they had to shut up.
Yep. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've kind of come to the conclusion of like, fine, let it be a thing. Let it be a thing, and we'll deal with it. Like, I actually
wouldn't mind it being a thing, mostly because Activision has proven by itself that they don't know what to do with their own properties.
Yep.
Other than force people to make Call of Duty games.
Yep.
Or make a really bad Crash Bandicoot multiplayer game.
What do you think about that? I didn't put this in the news, but what do you think about like the immediate thing I saw once this had been approved was like a rumor starting that Sony's going to buy Square Enix?
I heard about that, but I don't know what they're going to do with them, because again, Square sold off all their shit like for $20 basically.
They'd be like, start Final Fantasy 17, start it immediately.
Do it now. And sell off your NFTs. No one cares about this shit.
Yep. In some ways, that would be the best the best thing to happen.
It would be, to be
in
honest.
my opinion. Like,
because, again, if Square Enix is proven they're stupid.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Get some grown-ups in there to just be like, okay, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. Okay, start fucking making more JRPGs.
I'd walk into a room, like the room of people. How many of you guys think NFTs are great? Raise your hand. And they're like, all of you are fired.
Okay, first things first. Cancel that foam Las Vegas multiplayer online party thing, whatever. I don't even know what it's called. I don't want to know. Cancel it and start making Bravely Default 3 for the PlayStation. Do it now. Start now. Remake Final Fantasy 6. Remake.
We need to bring back Xenogears. People will love it.
Yep.
It's fucking weird as shit that even, God, I swear.
Okay. There's an idea at Xbox. We're going to have to go through this so fucking fast because we have 3 of these fuckers.
There's so many things, guys.
So, okay, let me see if I can find the starting point because they had an hour-long fucking pre-show. Okay. Did you watch any of this, Michael?
I did not. I forgot it was happening.
We're going to go through this pretty quick. The first thing they showed was this kind of online third-person action game with these little masked characters. Seems all right. Like, it's called Monolith, Requiem of the Ancients. It's coming next year. Again, it seems fine. Like, I feel like I've seen this game a bunch of times before.
it's got a just very different art style character, at least, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you look at it, you'll know what I mean. They're like almost Fall Guy tight.
Kind of
giant
like
arms.
Fall Guys meets Journey.
Yeah.
A little bit.
They'll
like
have giant fucking arms.
little masks and stuff. Yeah. Let's see. From there, we got like a 1-minute trailer for the Hellboy game.
I did see, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very short.
Yeah.
Very little.
Very short.
Kind of like what I see, though. I like the way that they've done this. It's interesting. This is the first time I think we've heard Lance Reddick since he passed away as the voice, because he did the voice for Hellboy.
He only did because we heard it in the trailer, but that was it.
Yeah.
This is one of the last things he did before passing.
Yep. It seems like they've done a really good job, and as I understand it, also this is being written by Mignola.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like a prequel.
That's good.
Hellboy Web of Word, where it's like Hellboy going to go do some investigation, then he gets caught in this kind of other thing. I would like to see a more gameplay, because there's some kind of interesting third-person action, almost Soulsy looking stuff going on here, like kind of Bloodborne, but then with this interesting like cel-shaded look to it.
I love the look of it. Because they try making it the actual comic for once.
Yes, and it looks very good. Looks very good. So, but not a lot more than just that. Let's see. Everspace 2 is finally coming out on consoles.
Oh, okay.
We got the console. It's going to be on Game Pass. We got a little trailer for it. It's going to be on PlayStation and Game Pass. And it is August 15th, so right around the corner.
Oh, okay. That's very close.
But it's also going to be on PlayStation 5 same day. Everspace 2 rules if you're into that sort of thing. I mean, I think it's fucking great. Like, I didn't play it. I actually might try getting it on the console, because the reason I didn't play it as much on the PC was because I kept having like productivity software get in the way of it. And
oh, jeez.
I was playing it on my monitor as opposed to my big ass TV. So,
gotcha.
Let's see. We got another trailer for, what is this? Sea of Stars? Or
something like it was like a prequel to Messenger, sequel to it. I can't remember.
It's a prequel to Messenger,
which is fucking weird because it's like a full blown RPG.
Yeah, Sea of Stars. Well, it's like a Secret of Mana style RPG.
Yeah,
where it's like you're running and then you kind of split up into like a semi turn based battle. Amanda and I played a little bit of the demo for this when it came out on the Switch, but then the audio locked up halfway through, and we lost so much that we decided just to do something else instead.
Oh, okay.
One of the interesting things they showed in this trailer, I don't know if they had talked about this before, was that they brought in a composer from Chrono Trigger. And
I did not know that. That's really cool.
Yeah, Yasunori Mitsuda from Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
That's really cool.
To do some tracks, some hot tracks. The Messenger rules.
Yes, yes, it does.
I expect nothing. I expect this looks like it's going to be fun as fuck as well. So,
yeah, it looks like it's going to be a great time.
Looks good, and I think it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Game Pass.
I feel like I mentioned it because a lot of times it does at the beginning there.
And that's August 29th. Yep. Yeah, what the fuck was this thing called? There was this game. Oh, God, what the hell was this? Whatever it was, I hated it. This is one of those ones. Yeah, Solace State.
Why does it sound familiar?
It's like a visual novel of kind of like weird psychics and stuff, but it's in this very weird, like all the characters are drawn 2D.
Yeah, it looks a little weird.
And nobody moves. And it looks like it's all talking. So I'm not. This came out already. This is already out. I'm not the biggest fan of what I'm seeing here.
It doesn't look great. The way even the animations are not great.
Yeah, it's just a lot of like zooming and kind of rotating around. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of Danganronpa.
It feels like somebody's project.
Yeah,
where they're like, I made a whole thing, and they just had a bunch of like, those puppets that are on not toothpicks, but popsicle sticks.
Oh yeah.
And then they make them like go up and down, and then they zoom around them and stuff.
Yep.
It's weird. It's very fucking weird.
This next one, I actually really liked this. They showed off a little bit of this later on. It's called Worldless. And it's like a 2D side-scrolling kind of Metroidvania style game. But what's interesting is that the characters are made out of like little dots. But then when they attack, you'll see they get like a body that shows up, like when they do like dashes or attacks.
Oh.
And then there's like a light and a dark character, and they like it's going to be like a Ikaruga, I think, style thing where you go back and forth between the two different characters. Like you can kind of phase shift between the dark character and the light character, and like the dark character looks like they're more aggressive.
Oh, that's fun.
And the light character has like a sword and a shield. The dark character has like fists and stuff. This is very stylized, very kind of cool looking.
Yeah. Looks like it'll be hard to tell where you are sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's why when you do like the double jumps and like the dashes, it just briefly like lights up your body. But yeah, I can see it. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time looking directly at my character a lot of times in games anyway. But yeah, got a big upgrade tree. Looks good. They did kind of an extended demo for it later on. I didn't watch it because there's billions of things to watch. So, but that's coming this fall. Let's see. Are you guys going to commercial? Oh no. Yeah. What was this one? Do you remember this one, the Saturday morning cartoon one?
Yeah, this one's coming out on everything. As far as I know.
We just had another trailer for it.
I forgot the name of it. I literally was talking to somebody about the last time they showed it off.
It is called Myth Force.
That's right. Because that's coming to like everything apparently.
Yep. I like the style of the cutscenes. I don't know. I was talking to Blake about this, where it's like I feel like this is really just going to live or die on how fun is it to play, right?
100%. Also, if you can get like people to play with you, kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's September 12th, right around the corner.
Some of Aspire's last things.
Time Jinx is a thing coming to the Jackbox Party Pack 10, along with this Hypnotorious, which apparently these are going to be on the Xbox version of Jackbox Party Pack 10. I'm kind of amazed that Jackbox is still going. They're still making those.
It makes some sense. I still know people who still love playing those things whenever they get together.
They're kind of like the new, you don't know Jack for
straight up
40-year-olds,
because all you need is a phone to connect to it. So
yeah. Oh yeah, this was really weird. This reminded me a lot of, remember that game Paradise Killer?
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's not. I don't think it's that. It's called Roman Sands. Roman Sands Rebuild. And it's from the people that made the game Paratopic. I wouldn't fault anybody for not remembering Paratopic.
I don't even remember what Paratopic
it was like
is.
It's like this really lo-fi thing that's in like a really gritty world where you're like smuggling like VHS tapes over like an Eastern European border or something. It came out like 2018, so
I vaguely remember this actually.
And this one is a lot slicker. Like it looks a lot like kind of an adventure game, a lot like Paradise Killer, where you're in this like weird resort. But then at the very end, you haven't seen these, but it's got these different kind of like weirdo looking characters. But then at the end, it kind of cuts over to this like underground like lab that makes it seem like there's like a weird conspiracy happening underneath the resort kind of thing, which seems like it's in line with what I know about the studio.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So let's see. From there, we saw this is that Deer. What is it called again? Scarlet Deer Inn. I mentioned this to you before. This is the one where they sewed every frame of the
yeah.
characters, they have like an electric.
You were telling me about that. Yeah.
Like an electric, like a 3D printer, but for needlepoint, and so they created all the animations for the characters, and then had them like physically sewn one frame at a time.
This looks even better than I thought it was.
Yeah, and then scanned them in. It reminds me a lot of Pentiment.
I could see that
because there's just a lot of like running around in a rural village a billion years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So
that's really fucking neat.
Yeah, it's kind of. I didn't know this was going to be on Game Pass. I think I just saw a feature where somebody was like, "Wow, check out what this crazy ass developer is fucking doing."
That's really fucking cool.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. You go check it out. Very good animation though. Like the end result is very good.
Yeah, because it showed off like for a second like what they did to make the models for it. And you're like, that's fucking crazy as shit.
Yep. So yeah, Scarlet Deer Inn. Rain World with a little guy.
Yeah.
And then there was a DLC for it called Downpour that was out earlier on the PC, but now it's out today on Game Pass.
Oh, that's fun.
I didn't like Rain World as much as everybody else seemed to, so
it happens. Not everything's for everybody.
That's true.
Like this fucking game.
Vampire Hunters? Or
Vampire Survivors?
Vampire Survivors?
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, Vampire Survivors is for everyone.
I still haven't been
rules
to get past it.
Rules.
I'm good.
Yeah, this is showing that it's going to have the couch co-op. We knew about that before.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that's really interesting is they're moving it to a different engine.
Really?
Yeah, where apparently the engine that it was built on like didn't work with like modern CPUs, so it actually got slower on like 4090s and shit.
That's so weird.
So this update that's happening in August with the couch co-op is also including a switch to a new engine. So,
that's fun.
Yeah, August 17th. Some point they've got like, we've got commercials. Get out of here.
So you can buy their stuff.
Get here, IGN. Axiom Verge 2 is on Game Pass. This was, I had forgotten, this was originally a Switch exclusive.
It was.
So the fact that it's on consoles now is like, cool.
I have a very good relationship with Nintendo.
Yep. I didn't actually end up playing through Axiom Verge, so I don't know.
I didn't either.
If it was any good or not. It was kind of weird because they had this trailer, but then they show it like going to the different like pixel styles. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize we had that much different weird shit going on.
That is crazy.
I know there was like the whole glitch thing in the first one, but I don't know. Maybe I need to go back and give that game another shot. Let's see. From there, this was the one. I think this is the one that everybody is actually talking about, or that I've seen a lot more talking about than anything else, which is what is it? That's a lady on it. Sorry. So let's see. Yeah, Stray Souls. This thing just straight up looks like a Silent Hill game.
It does.
It's like a third-person game with a guy in like a spooky town, and like there's like some ghosts.
All even got the fog.
Everything is real desaturated. There's some monsters going on. Kind of lo-fi. I looked at the developer, and I don't think they've done anything else. So I think this is their first game.
Couldn't say.
But,
they got a guest composer. Oh, they got a straight up a Silent Hill composer.
They got Akira Yamaoka, who did Silent Hill, The Medium, and Shadows of the Damned.
Oh yeah,
to be the composer, guest composer. But yeah, I mean, I do kind of like the idea. This is why the Microsoft merger doesn't really bother me all that much, is because the idea, I've already been through this cycle a few times where it's like, nobody will make a new Silent Hill game. They're just like, well, I'll do it. I'll just file off all the serial numbers and make my own fucking Silent Hill game.
You'll love it.
With blackjack and hookers, like, because this just looks like Silent Hill, man. Like,
it does. It's not even trying not to be Silent Hill.
Oh, just you wait until we get to the limited run games show. It's one game in there that it was just crazy. But yeah, I'm 100% in favor of this. Looks great. Sure.
Yeah, it looks really good, actually.
I'll give it a shot. Looks all spooky and terrifying. Everybody's screaming and yelling. There's monsters and puzzles and desaturated just giant guys. It also looks like it looks like it has a healthy dollop of the evil within.
Yeah, I can see that.
It. So that's coming out this fall.
It's got a good idea.
Birth is a very strange game.
What is happening?
The game, it's like all of these people with these weird mask faces, and you're collecting like bones and organs to build, quote unquote, a partner. And it's got a very weird, it reminds me of the Rusty Lake Hotel guys' art style. In fact, I'm not even sure that it's not them. I don't think it is, because normally they put their logo on everything they make, but it looks really strange.
Yeah.
And not at all clear what the fuck. It's puzzles and like weird vibes or something. Like
I can't really pinpoint what's happening.
Yeah.
But the idea that you have to build a partner out of a bunch of different things is really funny to me.
Yeah. Well, the fact that everybody's already like weird bird bone face people. I don't know. July 28th. We'll find out in like a week and a half.
Yep.
So
find out that dating is even harder in different places.
You got a quick Texas Chainsaw Massacre teaser. It is funny, I think, that the fact that they've got the 3 killers in here.
Yeah.
That it's like the dad and the little brother and then like Leatherface. It's like, well, who wants to be anything but Leatherface?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Unless I get to be Matthew McConaughey from Part 4.
Also, this one just looks a lot more brutal than I remember Friday the 13th being. Like, just there's a lot more like you didn't see it or you didn't hear it because I got the volume turned down. But like, there's a lot of like screaming and yelling and like people just getting like people getting stabbed and not dying.
Oh, jeez.
Like people getting chopped up and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
You got to make it work. Jesus, yeah, that is pretty brutal.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess people like that Friday the 13th game. I know Jason's going to be all over this shit. But
absolutely. he's still excited for it, and I know he's threatened to murder everybody if he's not on the video for it.
Sure.
Yeah, the chainsaw most likely.
August 18th. So
most likely. That was the word I was looking for.
Let's see. This one I don't understand. This is a weird one. I didn't understand this one at all. This is called this is a great podcast, everybody. I hate it when they don't put that shit in order. They need to put it in order. It's called Dreamers. It was totally I don't understand it. It was like this guy, and he was talking about how his grandma would like wake up, she'd go to the local cafe, and then she would go down, she'd go to the market and do whatever. And then he's like, wait a minute, no, that doesn't sound very good. And he's like, actually, what I mean was that grandma lived in like the snowy peak of this mountain, and there was like, and then like, no, not that either. And then like,
so it's just somebody coming up with the story?
I don't know. This is what they showed. This guy narrating, and then like at the very end, it shows like 2 people in a boat. It shows like this like weirdly low res, low poly, no face guy, and he gets in a boat and like drives off. And it's like, so the descriptions are all like, it's an adventure game with these 2 kids in a boat. And I'm just like, fuck you, man. I don't like, tell me what your game is or don't. Like,
yeah,
fuck you.
That's just weird. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more interested in playing Birth than I am this.
I still don't know what it is.
I don't know. I don't know either. Tell me what your game is.
We shall dream of what it is later.
Let's see. Next, we had Stumble Guys, Michael, which
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, so you know Fall Guys.
Yeah, I know Fall Guys.
And Fall Guys had a cell phone ripoff called Stumble Guys that was apparently legit enough that they got like sponsors, like they got like Hot Wheels and Nerf and things to like make levels for them, the same way that Fall Guys got like Sonic the Hedgehog and like Street Fighter and Godzilla and shit. But now Xbox is bringing Stumble Guys to consoles?
Why?
Wait, is Fall Guys still PlayStation exclusive?
Is it?
Is that why this is happening?
I could have sworn it was on like Nintendo or something.
I think it's on Switch, but I think it might not be on Xbox. Hold on, let's look this up because I was very confused about this, but now it occurs to me that they're like, oh yeah, do you not want to put Fall Guys on the Xbox? Fine. Hey, cell phone ripoff guys, do you want to be on the Xbox? Like, oh yeah, we do.
It's not even different. Like it's the same. Literal game.
No, Michael. They have a single bean body. These guys have bean heads and then a regular body.
They have a mohawk and they're in a wheelchair.
They're in a wheelchair. Yes.
They're completely different.
It's a Fall Guy. Let's see here.
I've never heard of this Fall Guys before.
No, it looks like
this is the Stumble Guys.
It looks like the Xbox. No, yeah, it's on the Xbox. It's on the Xbox.
They trademarked like my favorite part is the trademark is only under Stumble.
Yeah.
So that I don't really understand what happened here.
Yep. Stumble Guys, man. Stumble Guys.
It's not even close to different.
Nope, it's the exact same fucking game.
Same fucking game.
Exact same fucking game. Those poor developers for Fall Guys. They spent so long. I remember seeing them at Devolver Digital after Devolver Digital, like getting their game just perfect.
If I was the Fall Guys and I saw this, I'd be like, so we're just taking the whole thing off of Xbox now because fuck you guys. You what the fuck?
You know what it looks like? It looks like Fall Guys, and what was that horrible like NFT game where they had like the big head? It was like there were toys that you would take out of the package.
I know, but I don't remember the name of it.
Whatever the fuck that thing was, it's like those two things had a baby and Roblox did the delivery.
Pretty much. Even the default guy is so like, it looks like something a generic.
He's a Fall Guy.
He's a Fall Guy, but he's got jeans and a hat. Their eyes aren't even different, man.
Nope.
At least make the eye. Oh, God, what the fuck? Jesus fucking Christ.
All right. We gotta be done. We gotta be done with this pretty soon.
And they're asking people to pre-register for this nonsense.
And then last but not least, we got. I actually saw this first at the limited run games thing. Did you see this? The Karateka
I did
thing?
actually.
So Karateka was Jordan Mechner's first game before Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
It was like I remember being alive when this game came out. It was like it looked better than any game. Like the motion is where Jordan Mechner cut his teeth on the rotoscoping stuff. So like the motion looked very, very good. Like if you think about the way that this looks and think about like what was it Karate Champ?
Yeah.
Remember that? Where like this was so much more smooth for the time. It like scrolled. It had this like very like good looking like motion.
Yeah.
So they've taken Karateka and they've built. It is a game. It is Karateka the game, but it's also like the history timeline, like production notes, like prototypes, interviews with people, etc., etc. And then it's got 4 playable versions of the different. Looks like Amiga, maybe I don't know, some old PC versions, and then one like kind of remastered version that is like better animation than the previous things had.
As best as they could do with what they originally created.
Yes. So like, yeah, this is cool. This is like
that is really neat.
It's a good little package. I don't actually like this game as much. Like it is what it is, but like, you know, like I didn't like Kung Fu. I tried to convince myself that I liked Kung Fu on the NES. I did not like Kung Fu on the NES.
You were a big fan of David Carradine. That's all that
happened. But yeah, so that is coming out this year. So
that's fascinating.
Yeah, it's called the Making
I'm
of
a fan
Karateka.
of stuff like that because there's a lot of old games that just sort of disappeared to the winds, and I feel like I was reading a news article where there's like 87% of
Michael, we are not getting to that. That's later in the show.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that was part of it.
Yeah. Also, this is being published under this thing called Gold Master Series.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that we get more of these because I think that it would be interesting to see more of these.
It'd be very interesting.
But yes, we'll be getting to that. We'll be getting to
For
that.
reasons I did not bring up.
We'll be getting to that.
It never happened.
Yes.
It's a myth.
Let's see. We still have a little bit more time left. This is all stuff from the Xbox Showcase. I guess we could get started on Limited Run.
Yeah, I guess we could.
So, did you watch this? Did you actually watch the whole thing, or did you just watch trailers from it?
I watched some of it, like because I watched like the fake conference stuff.
Yeah,
at least for most of it.
So the idea is that like the Limited Run guys are going back in time to like save E3 by going to 1995 E3, and it's funny because they do a kind of like a video setup where they make it look like he's at the low resolution 1995 E3 with like a kind of fake crowd in front, like on a handheld camera, not the way that we do it today.
No, yeah. If you watch old E3 footage, it all looks like this.
Yeah,
like, it's clearly just some dude who's hired to like maybe do it so they can review their stuff.
They need a little bit more camera shake.
Yeah, and also like him not focusing on the right spots. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's a lot of that stuff in those old footages.
A little bit more like digital noise on top of that. But all in all, it's pretty good.
There's some good stuff in there. Some of the stuff is already out.
what I appreciate. Okay, so this being limited run, some of the stuff is just announcing a physical copy of a thing that's already out,
which is not unheard of. That's very normal for them.
Yes, and they did a pretty good job of shotgunning their way through this.
They did.
Like, it's a lot of trailers. Like, at first I didn't understand. Like, they're like, yes, the Castlevania collection with 4 Castlevania games. I'm like, but you already own this because this is just all the GBA games and then Dracula X.
Yes.
But they're putting it on a physical release.
Yeah, that's the whole point of limited run. Is like, hey, these are the games that we're going to be, pre-ordering eventually.
Yeah. So,
and I have bought some of these like after the fact.
July 28th. They put out. Did they already do the Ninja? They already did the Ninja Turtles, right?
They did Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, but they haven't done the Cowabunga collection.
No, those were sold physically either way.
Oh, okay. Okay. So was just Konami put it out.
Yeah, Shredder's Revenge wasn't, so that's why they did Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But they did do Castlevania, the Castlevania collection, like that, the one that was before that one.
Oh, right. Yep.
As well as the Symphony of the Night one they did.
They showed a Rise of Triad, the Ludicrous edition. I feel like I've seen enough of this. I don't need I don't need more.
It's really just like, do you want a physical copy of it? Right. Is really what it comes down to on some of these.
Yes. This is a weird one. I've heard of this game before.
Didn't we play this one?
No. It's a different one than what we played. This is Komaju Remilia Scarlet Symphony, which I know why you think it, because I thought that at first too, but it's not that. It's another one, but this one is like it's a Metroidvania, but it's also a shmup.
Oh, okay.
So when you see like the boss fights, like the characters, there's like a lot of bullet hell stuff going on where they're like going between stuff. I know because I knew this game existed. I think they put it out on Steam a little while back, and I looked at it and I was like, oh no, I don't want to play a bullet hell game.
Yeah, that looks like it'll take a lot of concentration.
We played the Galgun.
We did.
One,
that was the one I'm thinking of. And that was fun.
Yes, but they're putting that out. There's, some of this limited run stuff is I'm not entirely sure about. The Ultimate Tiger Heli and Twin Cobra collection.
They put out some weird shit. That's the thing a lot of people forget about limited run is they don't always have like super gold.
Yeah, Tiger Heli and Twin Cobra, and then like also this Get Star. And its overseas version, Guardians, which doesn't even appear to be a shmup.
Yeah.
Some kind of fighting game or something.
I don't really know what it is.
I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but they're putting all that out this fall. They showed off the Karateka, same thing, just same old thing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there'll be a
literally the same thing,
physical version of it. So. They showed off. I was curious if you saw this one.
I did. This is they're doing vinyls.
Yeah, they're doing vinyl of the soundtracks to all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games,
which I kind of want one.
And they're putting them out like it's so weird. Each one of them is a separate vinyl, CD, or cassette tape release, and they're putting them out once a month, like one per month.
That's fucking weird.
So the first one is the NES Ninja Turtles is in July, but then the arcade game August, Fall of Foot Clan in September, Manhattan Project October, Back from the Sewers November, Turtles in Time December, January 2024 is Radical Rescue.
Yeah, it was a Game Boy
Radical
game.
Rescue.
Yeah.
Hyperstone Heist 2024 and Tournament Fighters in 2024.
So I need to pay attention in August and December.
So you're specifically, you think you want to get like some specific ones?
Those are the two those are the two soundtracks I listen to the most.
Okay.
There's only one or two songs in the Manhattan Project I like. I don't really know the songs for the other ones that well.
Yeah.
And the Hyperstone ones are kind of just the Turtles in Time one, but shittier because they're Sega versions.
Okay.
So I don't really know why you would even want that in
So are you gonna buy like a record player? Are you gonna get a CD? Or
I might actually consider getting a record player just for those two things.
You get USB record players, right?
Yeah, they're actually not that hard to find nowadays. USB or not even USB, just regular record player ones. Because I do have records already. I just don't have anything to play them with.
Okay.
I have two Blues Brothers ones.
And you know what? We're about a quarter of the way into this. We're gonna take a break. We did a whole conference, FTC movie reviews. We got this, and then we've got 7 hours of Larry, and we're not covering all of that. I'm just gonna do the highlights.
Talk about it.
I'm gonna do the highlights, and then we've got all the rest of the news that happened because there was more news. God damn it! So we'll be back in a minute with more. Stick around. Stay tuned. geez, Michael, we got to get going. We got to get this roller coaster going on the downward slope.
We got to stumble our way through.
We got to stumble bum our way through it. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 is getting an HD remix and put out our HD remaster and put out on the Nintendo Switch by Limited Run Games.
People are gonna make some dumb shit again.
Yep. So that happened. Let's see. They had one really cheeky announcement where they talked about they're doing 2 original games with this company called Mix that are based on 90s Saturday morning cartoons, and they will not say which ones.
Probably Garfield.
Garfield and Friends?
Garfield and Friends, and also Heathcliff, just to fuck with you.
As long as they have the other ones, like not the Heathcliff side, but like the cats live in the junkyard that have the transforming car.
okay.
With
Yeah.
One's got the roller skates and the headphones.
I can see that.
The hot one. One of them's got like a weird jaunty cap. Yeah, I don't remember what the hell those guys were
I
called.
don't remember what their names either, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron is
That's
getting,
a name I haven't heard in a very long time.
It's getting an HD physical release. I don't know why people like this game. I remember it because of Spill, but like this was not the best game in the world. Like,
no, it was not.
But
at all.
People like it. Like, I don't know. Go play Asura's Wrath. It's way better. But El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron is a very strange game.
It's very strange.
And it's getting like an HD release. I can't ever, man, fucking Corey sang a little jingle about El Shaddai on Spill. And every time now, all I can hear is the little jingle that Corey sang.
So what you're saying is you should just randomly ask Corey one day if you should play El Shaddai.
No, I don't want to do that. Oh yeah, I don't remember what the fuck this is called. It's some kind of like okay, this is a game that came out not that long ago on the PC. It's called Dungeons of Ether. And it's like some kind of roguelike, but then it's got like a dice-based, turn-based combat with all this pixel art. It looks really kind of nice, but I don't know if I want to play it.
What's the problem with some of these games is that sometimes the idea of it is too weird.
Yeah.
The animations of it are gorgeous.
Very nice animations. So, but yeah, that's happening July 14th. Pre-orders. So by the time this goes up, it'll already be a pre-order. Shantae. This is a really strange thing.
It's a very strange one.
It's very strange. So Shantae was supposed to have a Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah.
There was going to be a Game Boy Advance game for Shantae, but when they were developing it, like they were shopping it around, and people were like, "Oh yeah, this looks pretty cool. How did the original game sell?" And they were like, "Badly." And they're like, "And how does this? What is this one like done?" And they're like, "No, the development has been very difficult." And people were like, "Okay, well then goodbye.
Yeah.
I don't want to invest in your game."
I don't know what you expect me to say.
But they're way forward, or Limited Run is resurrecting it and funding the completion of it, and I believe it's actually going to be released on Game Boy Advance cartridges.
I think that's what they said.
Yeah.
I remember seeing some tweets that were making fun of that.
It's
idea.
called Risky Revolution. It's got like a really interesting concept. I don't know if you watch this whole thing where like the world rotates. Like you rotate the entire world like left and right.
Yeah.
And the whole point of it is that Risky Boots, the pirate, she's like rotating the world to make landlocked like villages and stuff go next to the water so she can invade them with a pirate army.
That's a fun idea.
And then Shantae takes over. They also talk about how a lot of the reoccurring characters in the Shantae series, Shantae meets them in this game.
Oh.
And so there was like the original game, and then when they came with the third one, she knew all these characters, and everybody was like, why? And this is why, is because it was supposed to be in this game.
So they never even like tried to bridge that. They just never did it. That's fascinating.
Not really.
Also, they have link cables. That's fascinating.
Yep, there's a link cable. There's a multiplayer version that you can do. They show it running on the Pocket Analog, which is pretty cool. I like when they actually show the game the way that it like everything, like it literally seems like you're going to use LNR to like rotate like the entire world left and right. Which is pretty cool. All that's pretty cool. I like all that. I like Shantae. I think this whole Shantae franchise should have more attention paid to it because it's
Shantae is
fun.
It's a very niche but also popular at the same time.
Yep,
it's a very strange one.
Good Metroidvania. Last one was very, very fun. I played it all the way to the
trying
end.
to get her into Smash.
Yep, Shantae's great. I love Shantae. Chicory is getting a co-op mode and then a physical release. I kept trying to get in Chicory. It never really like worked with me, but
just not a fan of the chicory.
Yep,
Chicory do.
So yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, this was a weird one. This is called what the fuck was this? I never heard of this before in my entire life. It's called just Bear. I must have passed it. It's called like Bear Restaurant. Yeah, Bear's Restaurant and Fishing Paradiso, which I think are two games made by like a little indie company. And they look very weird.
Yeah.
There's like a little pixel-based thing, and they're kind of like blurry and smeary. I don't know if that's how they look in the game, but one of them you appear to be a bear, and the other one's like a weird little fishing game.
That's fun.
And those are happening. That's the what is it? Odin Cat's Paradise Collection.
Oh, it's just like, I guess it's just like an overseas thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that happened. This is one of the ones I was interested in. I don't know if you know this.
This is a strange one. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. All right. So like, okay. So this is called Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore? Faramore,
yeah.
Yes. This is, I get the impression, Michael, that what happened was there was some company that wanted to remaster those horrible CDI Zelda games.
1,000%.
And then when they couldn't get the rights to it, they just filed the serial numbers off and made it this, because it's got this side scrolling kind of like you see in those CDI games, but then it's got these horribly over animated weird things like the cutscenes from the Legend of Zelda CDI games.
Yeah.
So it's like a spiritual successor to some of the most horrible,
the worst Zelda games ever made,
games of all time. But there is a certain weird charm to the animation, to the crazy over animated nutso characters that keep getting all up close to the camera.
Well, they became these giant YouTube poop memes, and stuff. And so people really like that weird, like you said, there's a charm to this weird, like, because what was the time frame for this? Early 90s?
Philips CDI? Yeah,
Philips CDI. Yeah. And so people have this weird nostalgia for like things that either they never played and they saw a lot of weird videos of, or they did and they were the only ones who played them. That's what this is, and I think you could actually make this a good game.
Yep,
because they have the ability of hindsight, and they also have the ability of not having Nintendo watching them.
True, so very true.
They can take all the time they want and just be like, we'll just actually make it a good game.
Yeah,
but still have that look.
Some of the weird animated cutscene,
what those games could have been, kind of thing, and that could actually work if you do a really good job with it. And they're putting a lot of work into it.
Yep, they've got some of the voices from the original to come back.
Some animation guys.
You know, this animation, like, it's not super cheap to do.
It's not like you can't easily replicate that animation. Yeah, you have to go out of your way to work on that.
So like, I don't know.
That's fucking amazing.
I'm excited to give it a try. I'm excited to give it a try.
I almost bought those games one day. I saw them at a half price books years ago, but they were really expensive. Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to spend $50 on one of these.
So yeah, it's very strange. Arzette. Which I think, I mean, it was just like, wasn't the second CDI game was like the Princess Zelda game, right?
The Zelda one.
So this is just Princess Zelda. I usually have the same fucking crown, right? As Zelda.
Probably this probably started as the Zelda one.
Yeah,
and then they couldn't get the rights.
So they just drew over the sprite, but kept all the same animations.
Because some of the animations are very similar. Yeah, like, I don't mean that as in the fact that they're the same animation, but I mean like the character design. For one of them, it's like this monster dude at the beginning of the like looks very, very similar.
Like the king or whatever from
it's that sort of Ganon. I think that's what Ganon looked like in it or something. Yeah, I can't remember, but he looks very similar to that.
Yeah, it's very strange. Anyway, yeah, I gotta keep my eye out for this one because I'm interested. That's a good way to play on nostalgia, and I like it.
It's the one that hasn't been done in a long time.
Plumbers Don't Wear Ties is getting a definitive edition. Oh, really? Plumbers Don't Wear Ties is kind of like it's kind of a visual novel. It's not full motion video. It's pictures. Yeah, it's a bunch of pictures, and it's also like had some like nude scenes, like some very brief nude scenes with like one of the ladies from Glow in it. Oh, wow. Like very, very weirdly brief nude scenes, and they're putting it all together into a new version that's going to be coming
because
out.
I'd heard about this over the years, but I never in a million years would want to play it.
Yes. Well, what's funny is if you actually go and look at like what it actually looks like to play, it's like, oh man, can I get Night Trap, the infinitely superior?
Yeah,
like
it's very weird that this even
game?
happened. It's like Z-list game, which is kind of amazing.
It's like the Toxic Avenger of video games.
That's a good way of putting it, I think.
So yeah, September 2023, they're putting that out. This is a very weird one. I didn't really understand this. This like some kind of like magical girl RPG.
Yeah.
Called This Way Madness Lies. No, wait. No, yeah, I think that's what this is.
That is, that is what that is. That's just the name of it.
It's very strange. It's like an RPG. It looks like an RPG Maker game, but the main thing is that all the characters are like Sailor Moon magical girls.
Yeah, but they're all like in a Final Fantasy looking area.
Yeah, the combat looks kind of interesting. This like weird, almost like Shining Force looking thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
July 25th. Oh yeah, they're putting out Midnight Fight Express physical,
which is pretty cool.
Colossal Cave that came out a little while back. The Colossal Cave remake. That's going to be a physical release. They showed this one thing that's supposed to be like Mario RPG.
Yeah, I thought this was a bad timing for them.
Yeah, it's called Another Crusade, and I don't know. Even if it wasn't a bad time, this kind of looks really cheap to me. So
I think that was what they were going for, though, is the thing, because they were trying to be like that Super Nintendo kind of look, but also like fancier. I don't know. That's why I think it's a bad time to do that.
They didn't do. They need to go back to Arzette school. Okay, my favorite thing that happened was a game that I've been looking at on Japanese Switch store.
He actually talked about this to me off camera, mic quite a few times actually.
Rosen Camellia is a game where it's like 90s, like late 80s, early 90s style anime ladies in this like kind of Regency, like these haughty women in a Victorian thing, but then it all culminates in these women slap fighting each other in a Mike Tyson's Punch Out way, where you got to use the Switch controller's motion to like just slap a lady upside the head. And I want to play it so bad. I've wanted to play it ever since I knew it was a thing.
He's very excited, guys.
And I'm very excited that
this was the most exciting thing he's seen on any of these convention things in quite some time.
God damn right it is. Bam! Slap him.
This is his Mario RPG.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna replace the entire soundtrack with the "You Just Got Slapped" song from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh jeez.
2023 coming to the eShop. Good. Gargoyles remastered. They're gonna be putting out a physical copy of that. No wait, this isn't Tomba.
This isn't Tomba, but
this is Double Shake, which is like kind of a throwback 3D action RPG action just thing.
No.
Let's see. Clock Tower.
Yeah. This
OG Clock Tower is getting remastered and put out. That's cool. I never played any of the Clock Towers.
It shows up in a lot of Let's Plays.
Yeah.
It's made popular due to Let's Play people, because there's a guy chasing after you with giant fucking scissors.
Yep.
And I think you can throw ham at him or something like that.
Okay.
That's the thing. It was such a strange game that a lot of Let's Players ended up playing it.
They talked, because this was like a Super Nintendo game, right?
Something like that, yeah.
They talked about how they're going to be doing like an anime intro, doing a full anime intro, like they did for probably a River City Girls Zero. They're the same team that did that. So I just hope that there's a way to play it where you don't have to like do virtual mouse with controller, or that they put it on the PC. So
I'm sure it'll be on PC eventually. Yeah, it says Steam there.
It says Steam. Early 2024. And they talk about this with the Carbon engine. Apparently, this is like an engine that is used for...
It's a very, interesting engine.
It's like an emulator, sort of.
What it is that it's designed specifically to port old games to modern consoles.
Yeah.
And before, it used to only be good for anything that was 18 to 16-bit.
Okay.
And then during this, they announced some stuff that basically showed, hey, we have finally gotten it to the point where now it can do PlayStation 1 era games.
Oh, okay.
because what it does is it helps you map controls differently, so it can match different things.
Okay.
And so it's very, very exciting that they were able to get it to work on other stuff.
So they announced the Jurassic Park collection, which appears to be what SNES, Genesis, GBA, kind of like the Cowbung collection,
which were a lot of fun. There's some fun ones in there.
Yeah.
Luckily, they didn't decide to put in the one that you're thinking of.
Which Trespasser?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trespasser doesn't seem to be a part of it that we know of.
That was a PC game. It was a bad PC game. Plus, nobody wants to play that. Even in a remaster, it's like nobody wants to play that.
Actually, no. I'm thinking. Which one am I thinking of then? The one with the hands?
Trespasser.
I thought that was on a Sega. It was Sega CD or something.
Nope, PC.
Okay. For some reason, I thought Sega CD also had it.
I don't. It might have. I don't think. I think it's way past Sega CD though.
We can look it up real quick.
Here, let's check it out.
I swore it was on a console of some kind. Because I played it on a console of something. Or at least I thought I did. I might have been. I might have dreamed that part.
Okay. Nope, just Windows.
Okay, I don't know why I thought it's
just Windows.
Yeah, I must have played it on my brother's computer.
Yep.
That game's terrible.
It is.
Do not play that game.
Tomba.
Tomba is one of my favorite old PS1 games.
Is it?
From when I was growing up.
Okay.
Because there used to be a demo for it on one of my one of the CDs or one of the games that came with my PlayStation. And then my friend bought part 1 and 2, and they're stupidly hard to find physically.
Okay.
So this is actually really cool. So it means that new people can finally play Tomba. I hope they put Tomba 2 in it as well, because there are 2 of them.
Yeah.
But if they don't, I wouldn't mind either, because Tomba 1's a lot of fun.
So kind of just like 3D action.
It's this little action adventure thing where it's where you go to different, like you're fighting against these evil pigs, and then there's like areas, but it's one of those ones that you have to go back and it's almost like it's almost like a Metroidvania in some ways, because you have to like find things to come back to like get to different areas, but they're all still level based.
Okay,
but it's a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of it.
All right, and then last but not least,
the best part.
you can take this one, Michael, because I don't have.
So this is the thing I was hoping would happen with Crystal Dynamics being sold off, which is that somebody finally decided to re-release the Gex trilogy.
Yeah.
So the Gex games are very, I want to say niche, but the internet has started to bring him back slowly. Because it started off as just a side scroller game. And then it turned in, but the second one is the one everybody knows the most, which is Enter the Gecko, where it was about, like, you're tired after beating the bad guy in the first game, but now he has to go to, like, different TV channels to go after him. And so every time he goes into them, like it's almost like the way Reboot was, where like he goes into it and then he'll be wearing an outfit based on whatever he's in. Like, so this level, for instance, that Jeff's looking at, he normally has like, at one point he gets bunny ears to show he's like in a Looney Tunes world.
Okay.
And then there's like one where he's wearing the James Bond thing. There's like a Godzilla level, that sort of thing. And it's a lot of fun. And it had Dana Gould as the voice of him. But it's also 90s as fuck, because it's full of like references during that time frame.
Certainly seems that way.
So, like there's a lot of jokes like that. And I found this out this morning.
Yeah.
Turns out there's a British version of this character.
Okay.
Where Gex is voiced by a guy named Leslie Phillips, who apparently died a couple years ago because he was like really old. But he talks, he uses his voice as if he's like a dry, like, British spy.
Okay.
Where Dana Gould's more like, is what you expect from the 90s, like a very hyperactive dude bro almost.
Okay.
And it's a lot of fun. And because they're really creative with the way that some of these levels are. Like, I don't know how many of the jokes will still stick.
Yeah.
Especially since some of them may or may not have aged well. The problem is I don't know or not, because I haven't played them in a long time. But I'm very excited because I've had people I've talked to over the years who are like, I would like to play Gex again. Yeah. So this game will probably end up doing pretty well.
Cool. Yeah, and that was limited run games. I don't know why the fuck they made a conference. I don't know why the fuck they put it out, but they apparently had enough to. They had some oomph behind what they were doing. So
a very strange thing to do, but sure.
Yep. Okay. I don't even know how to cover this fucking Larian panel. Like,
I don't even know how this. Yeah, I don't know where to begin.
They talked about a lot of different stuff here. They talked about, let me just see if I can hit a few bullet points, and then we can probably move on from this. Go watch the entire fucking 4-hour panel, that even has like a bunch of technical problems halfway through where they can't show stuff. But like, here's some of the highlights. One, character creation completely revamped. Like, they've got a lot more options. They've got a lot more different They've got different options for a lot of the different characters.
Oh, that's fun.
People have been pointing out that there's like on some of the characters, there's like when you go right into the character, it'll say like genitals or something like. Or I could be wrong about that. I thought I saw that, but now that I'm thinking it could be. No, yeah. See, nope. Genitals default. So apparently there's genital options.
Well, that's interesting.
The big thing that came from this is the fact that there are now Dragonborn in addition to the rest and half-orcs. So previously they had all the rest of them. Elves, tieflings, drows, human, githyanki, dwarf, half-elf, halfling, gnome. But now they have half-orcs and they also have Dragonborn as well as a bunch of other stuff. The Dragonborn looked really cool. There's some cool...
Yeah, holy shit, those are really detailed.
Cool fucking, like, different... The way the different color patterns work seems really cool. So, yeah, they showed off a bunch of that. It was pretty fun. Let's see. They showed off some of the... Some of this is... I don't, like, really feel... I don't feel super comfortable talking about it because there was a lot of kind of spoilery stuff in here. Let me put it this way. So you know how the characters they'll be like in Larian games, they'll have like the created characters and then they have like you create your own character, right? Yeah. And now they have one more, which is a specific like fate, but you create the character. So it's like a story. It's like it's
a story beat that happens.
It has a backstory like the way one of the created characters has, but you can do it with whatever character you want to create. Like your normal created character is just kind of vanilla and whatever, and you're mostly interacting with other people. But this is like, no. This is a custom story, but it also goes with your character. And I'll tell you right now, it seems really interesting and fucked up, especially if you want to play like bad guy in a game.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
But it seems really fascinating. They talked a lot about it. If you want to know more, you can go check it out. They talk a little bit about the romance options and going on dates. There's a thing with the bear. I'll let you guys go look that up for yourself if you want to know. I'll just say that I thought it was hilarious. Actually, you know what? The thing that's interesting is that they talk about, I'm not sure, you can never tell with these things whether what they're talking about is like for real those, but like somebody asked them how long the game is and they were like, it's like 4 or 5 times the length of, like in total it is like 4 or 5 times, not one playthrough but all playthroughs, 4 or 5 times the length of Game of Thrones the entire show.
Oh, wow.
Like all 8 seasons of the show added up times 4 or 5.
That's a lot of show. That's a lot of game.
But they talk a lot about, I like this, where they talk a lot about like the relationship stuff, about how you don't like the relationship isn't like the reward at the end, that like you can get into a relationship with somebody early and then that relationship will change as the game goes through the 3 acts instead of just being the like, and then I built enough points and got the sex scene. Like they even talk about, they intimate at one point like you could piss off your partner so much that they just kill you.
Oh, wow.
And it's just game over. Like if you pick the fiery fucking tiefling barbarian and then just like cheat on her and she finds out. Or they even talk about like if you just go along with everything the other person wants, that like you might end up getting yourself into a quest where the end result is that you are sacrificed to like a cult or something. Like,
so you have to be like careful what your choices are with them.
They're saying that it's like you need to like push back. Like you can have an argument with your relationship person. Apparently some characters will come on to you. It is not up to you to fully initiate relation. I'm like, wow, this sounds like a relationship game as opposed to just the like build up the point meters and then press X for the sex scene.
And it lasts like 10 seconds.
Yeah. And like, okay, that sounds cool. Like I like that.
That does sound pretty
I like
funny.
the idea when they're talking about like, oh, you can have an argument with like the person that you're with. And like it can come out either way, and you guys can like come out of it stronger, or you can like break trusts or like thing. And I'm like, oh, that sounds great.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was. I was just looking through this video that's getting stabbed in the eyeball. So yeah,
I heard about the newspapers thing. Did they talk about that here?
The newspapers that are kind of like that's just fucking 3 Dog, man. Like
I just think it's funny. That there'll be like new people reporting on your characters. Things.
What's interesting when they were talking about that, because I was going to talk about Baldur's Gate the city, is then they had like a big technical problem, so it took them like an hour to get back to it. But they also talked about how when you're walking around in the city, you'll hear chatter, and that part of their tracking the world state of what your character has done means that you'll also hear like NPCs in the streets talking about events that you did. So in addition to the paper, you also just hear the general chatter around town being like, did you hear the mine blew up last night, kind of thing. Like,
okay.
Which I'm like, yeah, I always love when games do that.
I'm a big fan of this third thing. It makes everything that's much more lived in.
Yeah. This is some more of the dating stuff. They talked a little bit about combat. They talked about how this is the bear thing. This is so just like, and it cuts to the squirrel.
Jeez.
Anyway, sorry. Go watch the bear thing. Watch it for yourself. They talk about combat. They talked about adding in like a much more difficult combat and how they're doing it by basically like layering additional challenge on top. So like if you play on one mode, you'll have like guys that are slightly less reactive and there'll be fewer of them, and how as it gets harder they'll add in like environmental hazards or more art like snipers and things like that. They show a little bit of like co-op, and that was where I stopped watching because I'd been watching for like 4 hours, so I didn't get all the way to the end. I didn't see any of like whatever this is, so there's probably some more stuff in there that I missed. This game looks like hella big.
It's going to be massive.
Hella big. Oh, they also said that if you bought it in early access, you're going to get upgraded to like the collector's edition, the digital deluxe edition.
I remember them announcing that when they first announced the editions or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's very exciting. And as long as you do it before it's a specific date, if I remember correctly.
Oh, it comes out like August, sometime in August.
Yeah, so you guys got time.
Which is this one tell you? It's got to say it at some point. Oh, yeah. They also announced the third bad guy.
Oh, they did?
So the first bad guy was Jason Isaacs, and the second one was the general that was J.K. Simmons.
Oh, okay.
And the third one is called Orin the Red, and it's a lady voiced by Maggie Robertson who did Lady Dimitrescu.
That's fun.
And she's like worships Baal, who's like a death god in the Baldur's Gate universe.
That sounds about right.
She's got a very like just kind of sexy blood evil thing going on. So yeah,
as is tradition.
August 3rd for PC, September 6th for PlayStation 5, Xbox, TBA.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they weren't sure. They weren't sure if they could get it to run on it
on the Series S.
And
yeah,
well, originally they're like, oh, it's on all of them, but that's obvious the Series S.
Yes, but what this is kind of a cool way to do it, right? Because it means that they pushed up the release of the PC because they were like, runs great on PC, man. We developed it on PC. Like, just put it out on PC, and then we'll keep working on the console stuff.
Also, they added an option because this is something I remember from a while back. They added an option to get your save data and stuff to put it onto the console versions.
Oh, cool!
If I remember correctly.
Let's see. We also found out that they added a lot more to the opening of the game.
Okay.
So if you played it in early access, they're saying, no, you need to go back and play it again because there's all kinds of other stuff that's happening in the prologue that wasn't happening in the early access version.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. All right, we're going to tear ass through the rest of this because we've only got 1/4 of a podcast left, and there's still a lot left to go. So let's go fast. Recently, Square talked about in a share meeting, they gave an incredibly corporate answer to the question of, are you going to do more JRPG remasters in the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters? And they basically said, we will refrain from sharing information about new titles, but we are considering various ideas within the company and hope that you will look forward to forthcoming announcements, which, in this fucked up world in which we live, is better than no.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the answer is probably yes, because it's easy money.
Yeah.
It's actually not that hard to do.
Yes.
Like, the fact that we can get Gex on
they just need to fix the fucking fonts.
Yeah, that's really the issue is the fonts thing.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of people that are like, I want Chrono Trigger again.
Yep.
So that's all you really have to do, and you're just printing money.
Well, and then there's also been a rumor out there for a while that there's Final Fantasy Tactics remaster.
Oh, yeah, there's that too. There's a lot of Final Fantasy games,
dude.
Spin-off stuff.
Fuck, sorry, you guys, but fuck regular Final Fantasy Tactics. I want Final Fantasy Tactics Advance because I love that game.
That game was great.
I love that game. It is a weird game. You were an orphan having a fever dream.
It's a crazy fucking game.
It's a very weird game. Additionally, when it comes to remasters, there was a recent quote at a shareholder meeting from Capcom where they asked about if they were going to keep doing visual remakes of the numbered entries, or no, they were asked if they would only be doing visual remakes of the numbered entries in the Resident Evil franchise, to which they responded, "We are carrying out discussions regarding the future expansion of the series so it can be enjoyed by a wide audience." The point of this question is, are you fucking cowards going to remake Code Veronica, a game that desperately needs to be remade?
Which would be fucking great.
At this point, though, I feel like Capcom has made all of the Slay the Spire easy choices, right? And now it's like, okay, Capcom, what are you going to do next? Resident Evil 5 or Code Veronica, because they're both problematic in different ways.
Yes, in very different ways.
I don't know if I would rather see a good version of Resident Evil 5. I would rather see Code Veronica because I never played the original and I don't want to go back to it.
Well, that's the reason you should do Veronica.
Yeah.
Because 5 and 6 you can just play on a modern console anyways. Veronica is not an easy one to play, even if you have a way of playing on a modern console.
You know what I just realized, though, is like remake RE2, remake RE4, there's no story problems because it goes Leon to Leon. But in order to go to 5, where Chris is, you need Code Veronica so you know where Chris Redfield and Claire Redfield went after 2 before you can go to Africa for 5. And then 6, where Claire is a Wesker zombie of some sort. Or is that's Jill?
5. That Jill's the one that happens to in 5.
Okay.
Because Claire ends up in fucking Revelations. Yeah, she ends up in Revelations. But that's the problem with Resident Evil, guys.
It gets off the rails.
It gets off the rails very quickly. And then it got even more off the rails because the remakes have their own timeline now.
Yeah.
So even if you remaster 5, you have to base it on that timeline now. So that's a whole thing.
True. It's true. Anyway, make Code Veronica. Shits. Yeah. As was previously,
yes.
I mean, this was. See, I had a whole thing lined up about like doing the archival of games and bringing games back from the dead that we can't get access to, and that led directly to the story about how this study that was done by what is this organization called again? The Video Game History Foundation found that 87% of like older games are just like unavailable, fully and completely unavailable.
And a lot of it comes down to just access.
Yes,
and it's not so much like can you find a copy. It's like how easy is it to find a copy for some of them. And some of them are just outright lost forever.
Yep,
because they just either were like they only made so many of them back in the day, and nobody seems to have come out to be like, hey, I have a copy of that. Or there's a lot of games that were licensed that no one's going to try to re-release anytime soon.
Sure.
If at all.
They even make the point in this article, this is a Kotaku article that I was reading about this, about like how they're talking about how like some people might look at Yakuza, right? They might say like, well, Yakuza Kiwami is a thing, and it's like, right, but that's a remake, not a remaster. Yeah. So technically that's like a different game. Like we don't have the archive of the original Yakuza. And then they talk a lot about how the ESA,
yeah,
has been really opposed to the idea that archival needs to be a thing, because this is such a new medium that all the ESA can do is be like, but pirates, but they'll take the game and not pay for it. And it's like, guys, there needs to be a way to preserve this, because like, and like, I try to explain like, okay, this is a perfect example, right? No One Lives Forever 2, right?
Yeah.
The rights to that are so scrambled that Night Dive, I
think so,
wanted to remaster it but couldn't get anybody to try to untangle the rights, because the companies that originally created that game and licensed that game have now been purchased by other companies. It would require like
it's all over the place now.
Warner Brothers and fucking EA to go into the basement and figure out who owns this shit.
Hell, the most recent example was the GoldenEye re-releases.
Yeah.
Microsoft couldn't just re-release it because not just because Rare made it, but Nintendo had a lot of the stuff to it.
Yep.
When it came to licensing, so they had to come to an agreement to even re-release like the original version.
Yep.
That's the reason the HD one never even came out.
Right.
And then that happens all the fucking time with these sorts of things. There's literally there's a YouTube channel I follow called Funhouse. Right now they're doing a series of videos where there's a website apparently online where it's full of games where the licenses and stuff, and people they abandon them. They call them abandonware. And it's just a whole website where you can just download all of these games that nobody has, that no one has any idea who has the rights to them, and if they did, they don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's even them saying they're gonna pirate. They're already fucking doing that.
Yeah. And so you've actually come to a point where they talk in this about like the eShop, right?
Yeah.
Like you shut down the eShop and like all that shit's just gone, right?
Yeah,
unless it's pirated.
I don't know a way of getting fucking Punch Out for the Wii outside of owning a Wii. And there's one thing from it that I don't think is on anything right now, which is it's called Doc's Punch Out, and it was where you fought his fucking coach.
No,
like that was an extra. It was an extra thing that you could buy,
kind of like Dr. Luigi or whatever, like one of those.
Well, no,
types of
you
things.
weren't the coach. It was a prequel to the game itself.
Sure,
of like him training him.
No, but I mean like a little extra mode
it was a
thing
little
that
extra
they created.
Yeah, but it was considered a separate game,
right?
So it wasn't like something that if you buy like Punch Out, if they made a Punch Out remastered or something, whether or not it came with it is up to Nintendo.
Yeah,
and that's the tricky part. There's so many things that were on there. There's isn't there like a sequel to Final Fantasy IV or something that was on one of the eShops?
Yeah, they were phone games that came out originally only in Japan,
like stuff like that. Like there's so many things that came out on these shops.
Yeah.
That don't exist anymore. I think the Zelda Four Swords or whatever it was called. I don't remember the name of it.
Sure, the
that
GBA game
happened.
Yep.
What wasn't even the GBA one? It was like it was a download for the DSi.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of thing. I don't remember the name of it, but it was basically the Four Swords, but I can't remember what the actual name of it was.
Oh, okay, not Four Swords. Okay,
it was the Four Swords, but not. I can't remember the name of it anymore. But it was just that. But it was a DSiWare one, and there's no way to fucking get that game again. Yeah, because that whole shop is gone.
Yep. So apparently this organization is trying to use this study to go into the 2024 copyright hearing to basically ask for exemptions for games based on time, which is worthwhile because the thing is that no company will ever let go of an IP for any reason. We've seen this happen before. And the problem is that if they won't do that, if you don't force them to do that, eventually those IPs will just be lost. They'll just be gone.
They'll be gone forever.
There's actually there's a shitload of TV shows and movies that are gone forever.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The one that I know most is old Doctor Who, where they didn't because storage was expensive and costly, and like there was no thought towards archiving, so they just fucking burn the originals, throw them away.
Well, they taped over them.
Yep, or taped over them. Yep.
So they were just like, well, we don't need this anymore, so they taped over them.
Yep.
So they were like stories of people like being like, I was in Russia and I found like some dude's house that he hadn't been in like 20 years, and they just happened to have tapes to Doctor Who or something.
I know that
you hear stories like that all the time.
With Doctor Who, there was a lot of them where it was like, oh, they sent copies to South America for broadcast, and they were supposed to destroy them, but then they just didn't.
Yeah.
And so they suddenly find somebody opens up a closet and like, shit, we've been looking for this. We've been looking for these like 40 episodes of Doctor Who that are just like in a closet in South America for years.
Yeah, there's so many cartoons and television shows and stuff. I was talking to somebody who went to this film festival. It's an animation film festival, and the guy was there, and he's like, yeah, we found this old Betty Boop cartoon that no one has seen since like the 1930s or something like that, and they've remastered it as best as they could because they found the film all fucked up because you have to be lucky to find these things nowadays.
Yep.
And some games are like that. And sometimes somebody fucks up and erases it because there's a lot of dev kits out there that have like games that never released. And then some dumbass is like, I'm going to turn this into an emulation machine, not realizing what he has. And that has happened multiple times now.
Yep. So, yeah, it really is something that should be taken into consideration because it's like, just the possibility that you might want to re-release some, Mylon's Secret Castle on the eShop someday is not a good enough reason to be like, so, but then if we decide not to, then it's just going to be lost forever, and like no one's ever going to be able to have access to it.
Hell, the System Shock thing has been taking forever because of it.
Yep. It's good to have history. It's good to be able to look back and see what happened.
Exactly.
So Let's see. Um,
Oh, I heard about
This
this.
is so funny.
This is my favorite thing that's happened in quite some time.
Okay, Craig Mazin, who was the guy who was the showrunner for Chernobyl and for The Last of Us, was apparently one of the writers for the Borderlands movie, has apparently asked that his name be taken off of the Borderlands movie.
Which is amazing when you consider the things that his name is attached to.
Yep.
One of them is superhero movie.
Yep.
People don't remember that one.
Oh,
it
he's
was
like
one of
Scary
those,
Movie 2 and
It was
Scary
like,
Movie 3. Like,
yeah, he's done all these like movies that are like he said yes to his name on those.
Yep.
But he said no to Borderlands.
I think this movie is going to be gloriously terrible. It's
honestly,
gotta be bad.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I actually legitimately want this movie to come out.
Rocket Man.
He did Rocket Man.
Disney's Rocket Man.
Did he? Oh, he
Written
seriously
by
did that.
Craig Mazin.
That's crazy as shit. I liked that movie when I was growing up, but I don't know about now. But
Was that Identity Thief?
oh Jesus Christ, that movie is fucking terrible. That movie was so bad it angered Elliot to furious rage.
But then Chernobyl is awesome. It's
I don't know how that
awesome.
happened. Yeah, that's so fucking funny.
Holy shit.
The funny thing is we've seen no trailers. We've seen nothing.
Yep.
The only thing I know about it was when Randy Pitchford was on set that one time.
No, I saw a thing. This is a Kotaku article where they said the first look at the characters, and I was like, I didn't realize we got to look at the characters. And you scroll down, and it's silhouettes.
Yeah, I remember
it's
those.
just silhouettes. But that's Kate fucking Blanchett.
It is, yeah.
Did you waste Kate Blanchett's time, Randy Pitchford? Because that is worse to me than anything else.
The only person we saw without a silhouette was fucking Kevin Hart because he goes to talk to him.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And all the rest of it was censored and stuff. So yeah, Craig Mazin had his name changed to Joe Crombie because Alan Smithy is out there right now.
Everybody knows now.
Everybody knows what that is. But yeah, that is terrible.
It's fucking funny. I legitimately want to see what this movie turns out to be.
Speaking of terrible, I did want to bring this up because last week I was talking about there's a whole controversy that's happening right now of people making Skyrim porn mods and then using the voice acting of NPCs to create an AI voice thing to then voice dirty lines, to generate dirty lines for their porno mods for stuff. And I was kind of on the fence about that. This week, I think I'm less on the fence about it because Erica Lindbeck, who is the English voice actress for Futaba in Persona 5, a thing happened last week where somebody took her voice lines, fed them into an AI generator, and then had it sing Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
She said, I would like you to take this down. I didn't sing that. I didn't agree to this. This is my fucking voice. The guy who made it took it down, but then the internet got an internet, and so people were like, how dare you censor anything at all, and started reposting it all over the place and kind of harassing her until she left Twitter and Instagram. A bunch of other voice actors and actresses came out to basically lend support.
That's a lot. It's all over Twitter right now, even now.
Yeah. It's funny because I think I had strangely, I mean, the people that made the porn mods with the AI stuff, they took the voices out when they were asked.
Yeah.
But in some ways, I'm almost like I have more sympathy for those because I feel like a lot of times NPC voices in Skyrim aren't so readily readily identifiable.
No.
So that you just,
Sometimes it was just the guy who was drawing something.
Right.
He's like, we don't have enough guys. Come on here and say these words.
Right. That I and that was kind of where I was coming from. But I don't, man, the problem of course here is that she didn't have a problem with this. The guy that made it was like, okay, she has a problem with this. I will take it down. And the internet was like, never, you have no rights. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. And no, guys. Come on. People have a right to the voice. They have a right to their voice, okay?
It all comes down, that's the weird thing about this argument is that it didn't used to be an issue.
Yeah.
And the reason I say it didn't used to be an issue is because there were a lot of videos online that use this exact idea for years.
Yeah.
And I don't even, YouTube poops I don't count because YouTube poops are they're assemble lined. They don't force them essentially to say something. So sometimes they kind of are very close. One of them, the one that I bring up the most is the gamer poops with Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
But those became really popular, and so much popular that even the voice actor for Shepard embraced the shit out of it. Where he like a lot of people will ask him, "Will Bang okay?" or to say it, and he says it all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just one of those things that all depends on what the actor wants, and that's what happened here. Like you said, like they said, "I don't want this to be a thing," so you guys should listen to their wishes because this is their voice. Like it's like if you took yours or mine and then had to say horrible shit that we probably already would have said on mic anyways.
What could be worse than what has already come before?
But you know what I mean? Like it's weird. Like you would be hearing yourself saying things that you're like, I probably wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just icky, and I get why voice actors wouldn't want that. And this isn't even like the argument of like using their voices to make paid content.
Yep.
This is just using their voices for just weird shit in general.
Yeah. Yeah. So I say boo to that. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. Also boo to swatting people, but hey, if you do it, so this was, 2020, the Ubisoft offices got swatted. Remember, I think we talked about this.
We did talk about this.
And it was done by, like, this dude who wanted to get unbanned in Rainbow Six Siege and couldn't. It said he'd been banned, like a ridiculous number of times, like 80 times.
Something stupid about it.
And in fact, like when he got caught, and the newspapers called him up, he was like, "Can you print in the article that I want Ubisoft to unban me in Rainbow Six Siege?" And it's like, at this point, I don't think you should be unbanned.
You should absolutely not be unbanned at this point.
But yes, the person who did this was sentenced, a 3-year sentence, punishment. He's going to be required to compensate victims, undergo treatment for mental health problem, and either work or undergo training as part of his sentence. So
this is in America. So
yeah,
if it was America, it would be like, we're just going to punch you the balls over and over again,
yes,
and then lock you away, and then punch you the balls again.
Yes,
the end.
Yeah, but this person probably needs some mental health support.
It said they're like 20, so this is like very young. Like they're you could possibly get them to a point where they won't be crazy enough to do something like this again.
Yes.
Maybe.
The first step number 1 is no more Rainbow Six Siege for you.
Yes.
No more Siege for you.
Just don't look at a game.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you're not allowed to touch games.
No more online multiplayer games for you.
Just play Mario games, play Tetris for a while. That should calm you down.
Yeah. Play that play fucking Baldur's Gate 3, man. That thing's long enough. You can play that for the rest of your fucking life, apparently.
True, that and Skyrim, or that and Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Just play those two forever.
By the time you get done playing every iteration of Baldur's Gate 3, there'll be so many more video games for you to play that are not Rainbow Six.
And you'll probably be 30 by then, so you'll probably be chilled out.
Probably be married and shit. Let's see.
This is so fucking amazing.
Yuji Naka, who was the guy that created Sonic the Hedgehog and he did Balan Wonderland, he was accused of insider trading because he totally did it.
Yeah, it wasn't
100% did it.
It was an accusation. He literally did it.
Yes. He got 2 year and 6 months prison sentence as well as a $1.2 million fine for that. The prison sentence was suspended, provided he doesn't fucking do it again. But he still has to pay $1.2 million, which actually, when I went back and looked, and it was like, this dude made a shitload of money.
He did.
Like, Square Enix insider people, basically, this is part 2 of their phone games that they were making. I think one of them was Dragon Quest, and the other one was the First Soldier, or the Soldier Battle Royale Final Fantasy VII one, where they basically told him which companies were making these, and he invested heavily in them, and then when they announced that they were doing these projects, the stock shot up. He was able to make a shitload of money. It's just classic insider trading.
There's like no, like, it was obvious.
Yes. So
then, have you seen Brian's hat, Jeff?
What's that?
Have you seen Brian's hat? That's how obvious it was.
That's how obvious it was. Evan Wells, the co-president of Naughty Dog, has retired after 25 years, and Neil Druckmann is now going to be the man in charge.
Which is kind of terrifying.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, everybody's like excited, but I'm like, dude, all he's done is make Last of Us.
Yep.
And I don't like the idea of that guy being in charge of this company.
Yeah.
And not because I'm expecting a bunch of Last of Us, because I'm expecting a lot of things like Last of Us.
Yep.
And not like the stuff that I really fall in love with.
Morally ambiguous. And
I want more of the Jack and Daxter Crash Bandicoot type whimsicaliness, and even like the way Nathan Drake's adventures
I want fucking
were.
Uncharted 2.
I don't want fucking. I don't need more
soul crushing,
sad, soul crushing nonsense. and guitars and shit.
Yep.
I just want fun again.
Me too. But I don't know. Maybe that's the next thing they're making. Maybe he got it all out of his system. Maybe
I doubt
it. Maybe he's like
he's got movie money now.
Yoko. Well, what's his not? Who's the Evangelion guy?
I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Maybe he got all the depression out. He's on mood stabilizers. He's gonna make a happy one now.
That's how they made Fully Cooley.
And there is a Black Panther game that is being made by some of the former Shadow of Mordor devs from EA. When I first read this, I was confused. This is not the Black Panther and Captain America game. This is a separate Black Panther game.
Yes.
It has been announced. It has probably been announced because they were going to hire people for it, and if you just put it on LinkedIn, I was going to be talking about it anyway. As
that's somebody, because I have a friend who's a game dev I have a couple game dev friends. And when I posted about it, that was their theory too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably just hiring for people. It's like, hey, come work with us. We're making Black Panther.
Yeah.
But it still comes down to the fact that, again, it's another one of those games where it's like, let's announce it super fucking ahead of time.
Sure.
We still don't know anything about the Captain America Black Panther game.
Nope.
We don't know anything about the Wolverine one.
Nope.
The Iron Man one.
Nope.
The Indiana Jones one.
Nope.
And now we have this fucking one.
Yep. Let's not even start down the Star Wars road.
God, yeah. Oh, shit. Fuck me.
This is really funny. I don't know if you read this story about Denuvo.
No.
Denuvo is really fucking sick of people saying that like their copyright system like fucks up every game that is put in, that has it put
The
into
evidence
it.
is there, unfortunately.
So what they're saying is that they're not comparing like apples to oranges, that they'll rip Denuvo out of a game and then compare the launch version with Denuvo to like a patch version that has had Denuvo ripped out of it. And so, of course it's better. It also had a bunch of optimization that came in the patch. So what Denuvo is saying, what they want to do is they want to give to trusted media outlets the same game with their code and without their code. Like, they're going to give a special version that has their code like fully deactivated to a trusted media outlets, because they said out loud, we know that if we did this, no one would believe us. So we have to find like a trusted third party outlet that will not leak these versions to give like a new game. And it's like, here is our version. Here is a version with all of our shit turned off. Test them, Linus, and tell me which one has more frames type of thing.
This is a good idea, but it's also could go either way, is the thing. Because the problem is, I don't know if people are going to trust the versions they give them.
True.
I don't know. Like, it's the problem is that Denuvo, you guys keep saying this, but the writing is on the wall, and it consistently has been on the wall.
Yep.
To the point where like it's super obvious half the time.
It doesn't matter what you do right now. Your track record is too bad. It doesn't matter even if it all works right now. Your track record is too bad. Also, we just got done talking about game preservation, and when they preserve copies of games that have Denuvo, they're going to preserve the cracks right along with them, because you're going to turn off the authentication servers, and then years down the road, Resident Evil Village won't work because there's no server to authenticate with the copyright.
There are so many games that have that issue right now.
Yes.
To this day, because what was it? Game Spy?
Yep.
Was that what it was?
Sure.
That was one of the ones.
Fucking Games for Windows Live, for God's sake, was
that
almost
one too.
De facto copy protection.
And it stopped a lot of fucking games from being played anymore.
Yeah. I don't trust... it doesn't matter if it works or not, Denuvo. I think your shit should be ripped out of every video game, because I do not think that anti-piracy... it
doesn't actually work all that well.
Doesn't... yeah.
Like, people think it's like... They were like, it'll deter people. Like, all it does is piss off the people who paid for it.
Yep. Because the hackers have got it in a week every time.
Yeah, every fucking time.
Let's see. Speaking of games that I hope don't have Denuvo, last week we got a fucking rad-ass trailer for Mortal Kombat 1. We got the Lin Kuei trailer. Oh, I love it.
It's a great trailer.
Oh, man. We got Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I think we got a little bit of that, what I wanted, that fucking Scorpion Sub-Zero buddy cop thing.
Yeah, except it's the original Sub-Zero.
Oh, yeah, who's
kind of an asshole.
Yes. But then at a certain point, my fucking boy Smoke shows up.
Yeah,
non-cyborg Smoke.
I'm so happy that they remembered that would be a thing.
Yeah.
Because that's his whole backstory. He's a Lin Kuei who wasn't turned into a robot person. And then eventually he was. And I wonder if they'll end up going back to the Sector Cyrax humans eventually one day.
Well, because they
were
also
also the same backstory.
they do show Cyrax as like what do they call them?
The cameos.
The cameos, yeah.
But
Like
all the cameos like look like they're Mortal Kombat 3 versions of everybody.
Yeah.
Like including, Kano and all them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird that way.
I just think this looks absolutely incredible, and I love it so much, and I want to play it right now.
It looks fun. It looks hella fun.
It looks great. It looks cheesy and delicious. It's fucking like lobster mac and cheese plus a fatality right in my face.
And they changed a lot of their movesets, but that's the thing about Smoke is he hasn't stayed the same consistently for a long time.
And
Same with the other characters on here.
You know why I like Smoke? It's because he's as much of a pain in the dick as Molina when it comes to teleporting around and doing horrible shit. So, yep. I think it looks great. I think Mortal Kombat 1 looks great. I can't wait to play it. It may end up being my favorite game this year. It may end up being that because I just love this where this franchise has gone, and this looks great, and I want to play it real bad. And
it's still super disgusting, and I love them for that.
Yeah.
And then they showed off
Rain.
They showed off Rain.
Yeah.
Who's the guy I was hinting at. And
I forgot about Rain.
Some Rain fans are not super happy because he's a wizard now.
Oh yeah.
But even then, like again, he's a character. Some of these characters have only a handful of characters have ever really stayed consistent throughout the Mortal Kombat universe.
True. The core folks.
Yeah, and it's usually just like Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Like everyone else, for the most part, has changed a little bit over the years.
Sonya was completely different in
100%.
Last one, 11 or whatever.
Yeah, their whole characters. They're like, I was a big user of this one, and then you're like, oh, I don't know how to do anything.
They showed Frost as a cameo.
Yes,
looks pretty good.
She looks pretty cool. But yeah, because every cameo shown off in here is a member of the Lin Kuei.
Yeah,
technically, because Frost is the Cyrax and Sector were
right.
As well as, but Rain they're just showing because he's another ninja.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of fun.
Cool stuff. Looks great. Go watch it. Also, it's like a 3-minute trailer. It's fucking super long.
I kind of wish they would show off if Reptile was going to be in this.
I think he's supposed to.
I'd love him to be.
But
also, that fatality at the end is just like, fuck.
They're disgusting, and I love it.
It's super disgusting.
I'm going to start skipping some stuff. There wasn't really much there. Boy, there was a 7-minute Silent Hill Ascension behind the scenes thing. That's the fucking online everybody watches a Twitch stream
I
thing.
Forgot about that. That's still happening, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a lot of like filleting the franchise. I would talk more about it, but we're already out of time. Helldivers 2 got a full-on actual gameplay trailer. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't.
It looks an awful lot like Helldivers. It's like you're throwing down drops, and you're either using them as attacks, but you're also getting like weapons from them, and like there's a bunch of bugs. And they talk about kind of different classes and how they're, you've got some heaviers and some lighters, and it looks an awful lot like Helldivers from a third-person perspective, which coincidentally enough looks like online EDF.
It does. And it's very Starship Troopers-y.
Yep.
And I have no qualms with that.
Yep. You ever play that Starship Troopers game?
Huh?
Do you remember when we played that Starship Troopers game?
I do, but no one else does.
But no one else does?
Or are you talking about the other one we played that was also boring?
No.
Or that was actually boring.
The one that we played on the PC where it actually got good at the end after my fucking audio thing locked up.
That one was unfortunate.
Oh, no. It actually got good eventually. Anyway, Helldivers 2 looks like it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Immortals of Avium got another trailer. This is a 5-minute thing on the PlayStation Store, or where it really goes into a lot more detail than I've seen about the game previously.
Okay.
It actually got me kind of excited about it.
Really?
Like, well, they talk about like how the different colors work. How red is like power, blue is kind of like balanced, and green is like kind of like rapid fire. Mm-hmm. They talk about using it to solve puzzles. They talk about how the enemies will have different colors, and by matching your attack color to their attack color, you like do more damage at a time.
Oh.
I think the whole thing looks solid. It all just depends on how does it feel. And can they make sure that it's not like it doesn't run like ass like Jedi Survivor does?
What's the hardest part about games covered in particles?
Yep.
And this is that type of game where it's like this could go either way.
Yep.
Because like I like the basic idea of it, but the problem is like it's still like a shooter is what they want it to be.
Yes.
And that that can go either way in a lot of aspects.
At the end of the day, it all just depends on how it feels to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if it feels good to play, then great, it feels good. But
like we played fucking Forspoken and we gave it a shot, but I thought it felt terrible, and so we gave up on it pretty quickly.
Yep. Well, I even tried the last one, the Wild Hearts or whatever, Monster Hunter one, and it didn't run very well. And I was like, well, if you can't make it run, then you guys need to stop using whatever engine you're using and go back to Unreal 4 or whatever you need.
Yeah, exactly.
But
the whole games that I'm like, this is a great premise, but I fucking hate playing it, and so I just stopped.
Yep.
So that happens all the time.
Whew. All right. Bleach. There's a new Bleach game. Bleach Soul Resonance. I can't actually find the official trailer. I had to find like a remake or like a re-upload. This appears to be first off, I didn't know this, but apparently the last Bleach game was in 2011 for the PS3.
It was quite some time ago.
And that this one looks like it's like the Ultimate Ninja Storm style games. I don't know jack shit about Bleach, but this definitely looks like one of those types of games.
Bleach is one of those games, or not games. Bleach is one of those animes where I love the premise of it, and then it lost track of itself.
Yep.
And part of it is because when they were making the original anime, it was one of those issues where the manga was very much still going on.
Right.
So it has some of the worst filler you've ever seen in an anime.
I was reading
and the worst timing of it too is the other part.
The thing is that one of the things that I really appreciate, though, I wanted to take this to point it out. We talked about it a little bit last week when the stuff that they announced at Anime Expo from like Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff. I think, Michael, you can agree with me on this, that like we've really reached a point where this arena combat, the way that they can do 3D cell shading and this style of arena combat game has gotten way better, way more immersive, and looks
100%.
a lot more like the actual anime as opposed to what it looked like in the PS3 era days.
Yeah, because there's a lot of games from that era that just did not, like, they tried to make it work, but they couldn't get the shading correctly.
Yeah.
And I think the Dragon Ball stuff is a good example of that, the way Kakarot is in the trailer for Tenkaichi 4 that we got a while back.
Right.
Like, they're really putting a lot of work into that look again.
Whereas this looks like what I think I know Bleach looks like. I don't know very much, but it looks.
It's pretty close to it for some of the stuff going on in it. I haven't seen Bleach in a very long time. It's a show that did eventually come back, and I think is going on again right now.
Yes, I believe there's new Bleaches right now. So, but yeah, looks all right. Let's see. Pikmin. There's a Pikmin overview trailer. It was cute. It was. If you don't know anything about Pikmin, this is a good primer. It tells about all the different Pikmin.
Because there's a lot of people who don't actually know what Pikmin's about.
Yep.
Because I've been seeing a lot of new people playing it, and they're like, "Oh, this game's actually quite horrifying at times."
Definitely. Double Dragon Gaiden: Rise of Dragons.
I'm very excited for this game.
New trailer for that. This is a character trailer. I don't know if you watched this, but it showed a bunch of other characters besides the one they've already shown. So it was Billy and Jimmy and Marion and Uncle Mateen, but they also showed that you could play as Abobo. Or Chin Tai Mei, who is the guy with the Bruce Lee hair from Double Dragon. It's all enemies. It's all like traditional enemies. Linda with the whip. And
because the plot of it's like a lot different than the normal.
Yeah.
And they said there was a lot of characters you could unlock throughout the game.
And Bernov, who I don't recognize. That was like a boss.
I think he's a boss from one of the other games, but... I'm very excited for it though, because I want Double Dragon this thick again, and people keep trying. Double Dragon Neon was the closest, but what happened was I think it was a rights issue.
Yeah,
that happened where they couldn't make any more of them, and I really wish they did.
Double Dragon Neon was great.
It's still great. You should still buy it. It's still amazing.
And it comes out the 27th, so
but
a couple weeks.
I'm going to probably end up getting this game too.
And then we already had a billion trailers, so we didn't have a lot more. But I did want to call out this thing. Call of Duty had an integration, had a team up thing with The Boys.
Yep.
Which is really weird, even because who is the characters that are in here are Homelander and Starlight and Black Noir, which are not The Boys. They are the fucking Seven.
Yeah.
There's also Temp V, where you can inject yourself with the Temp V from the show, and you can get one of 4 different powers. You can get, as your character, you get eye beams or electricity powers or jumps and stuff. Michael, I'm a little weirded out by this because it's like I have this creeping suspicion. I think it's from talking to my dad about The Boys, and it's like, you guys know that Homelander is a bad guy. No one should want to be Homelander. Homelander is a fucking what if Superman was a psychotic rapist character?
Yes.
Like,
well, the I think the main thing is that it's the sort of thing that the actual company in the show would do. And I think that's the reason they're willing to do it.
Okay.
Because it's the idea that they
like Vaught put these characters.
It's the idea that Vaught walked up to Call of Duty and said, "Put these characters in."
And Bobby Kotick was like, "Yes, sir, Giancarlo Esposito, sir."
Because have you ever seen the Twitter for The Boys or whatever?
I think I've seen some stuff.
It role plays as Vaught.
Okay.
And it'll be like all the stuff you heard about Homelander. None of that shit's true. Like it'll say shit like that. And so, like, that's the idea I think behind this.
I worry.
You should worry.
That
I'm not going to pretend that you shouldn't worry.
Because, like, in the comic book, because the comic book is written by Garth Ennis,
yes.
It is very clear that the Supes are fucked up.
Yes.
Like, they are way more fucked up than they are in the show. Like, you know how in the show, Billy Butcher's wife has like a child that is superpowered, right? Okay, well, in the comic book, Homelander rapes Billy Butcher's wife, and when she comes to term, the baby claws its way out of her stomach, and Billy Butcher has to strangle his superpowered son with like the umbilical cord from his dead wife, like there on the floor in the gore of both of them. And that's how The Boys comic works. The first arc is about how the fucking New Mutant or the New Warriors are all fucking each other and degenerates and like horrible.
There's a reason a lot of people don't like the comic.
So I worry that like by giving Homelander like more of a character, because he's just kind of a stoic like serial killer in the comic books, that like people are identifying with and liking Homelander.
Well, it's the problem. It's just not even so much a problem. It's
God.
It's the unfortunate side effect of stories like that.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just The Boys. I mean like in general, where you're like, this guy's a terrible person. And you're like, I kind of like that terrible person.
The way that people will idolize Walter White.
Yeah, the way people want to like, hell, even idolizing Barry in a lot, because I watched Barry a lot. And I listened to a lot of interviews with Bill Hader, and they're like, why does anybody like Barry as the character? Because he's a terrible person.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, okay.
Like shit like that. Like that's just what it is.
All right.
BoJack Horseman does a great job making joke about that exact thing.
All right. I don't know.
Sorry, we're going on a tangent.
No, it's all right. I was the one who brought us there, but it's just like, I don't know. It just worries me.
No, I get it. There's too many people in the world who's like, I find Homelander more relatable. I'm like, why would you say that out loud?
Right. Right. Yes, exactly.
You should not be thinking that at all.
Yes. Anyway. Let's see.
If you say that, I don't want to talk to you. It's really what comes down to.
So, okay, you remember the game Slitterhead?
No.
This is from the creator of Silent Hill, Kichiro Toyama.
Oh, wait, no, I know what you're talking about now.
The lady in their head pops open.
Yeah.
There was a dev diary that they put up. This is an actual like game. It's like a 5-minute dev diary, and it just had some kind of like, there's a lot of that like fucking developers talking about stuff. They do show some like recorded, like a phone recording of a screen, like combat, like a little bit of like combat. I mean, it's like a third-person game, and it looks like it's got some really interesting stuff. It's obvious it's very, very, very early in development, but it looks kind of interesting. It's kind of creepy monster stuff. And then one part at the end that everybody is focused on is it shows you playing as a dog, like playing as a dog looking for
fun
stuff. So it's unclear whether what's going to be going on. They do though also talk about how like every time they're looking for they're working on a new part of the game, they will like aggressively focus test the concept,
okay,
and then like take away what the testers or what the people are talking about. So
that makes sense.
Could be kind of interesting.
Whatever negative things they say.
All right, we're almost done here, Michael. I've got some interesting stuff. Let's see, taking that one out. And we'll go through the rest of these pretty fast. I don't know if you saw this. I think you're the only other person I know who would be tickled by this. A new game was announced, It was
I heard about this.
Hello Kitty's Island Adventure.
It's now a real fucking game.
Yes. So for those of you who don't remember, the World of Warcraft episode of Star Trek South Park that came out 2006.
A long time ago.
They were making plans on how to defeat the guy that keeps killing them, and they're having a strategy session. And Butters says like, "Oh, geez, no, I only play Hello Kitty Island Adventure," and this was not a real game.
It was not at the time. Yeah.
And then there was like an April Fool's joke where they talked about it, but it wasn't an actual thing. Now it is an actual thing. It is a phone game. It is basically Animal Crossing with Hello Kitty characters, but Hello Kitty Island Adventure is an actual factual game. It is unclear whether
they knew that or not.
Well, whether they're doing this intentionally or whether they're just cashing in on the fact that like people know the words Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Here's the thing. I'm legitimately considered trying it at least once.
Yeah.
Just so I can say in a Cartman voice or a Butters voice that I'd rather be playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Yeah.
It's one of the funniest fucking things.
It's on Apple Arcade. I don't know.
Sequence.
Load that up on my PlayStation or on my Apple Arcade, Apple TV right now. We'll be playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure before this podcast is even over.
It's one of my favorite lines in the entire fucking thing, where he shows up as the same fucking, what was it, a dwarf as the Cartman is also playing.
Yes.
And he's like, "What the fuck, Butters?" It's like,
Yeah.
I'm the only dwarf. It's like, fine, I'll go change. I would rather be playing Halo Kitty Island Adventure.
Yep.
It's just the funniest. God, I love that fucking
great.
episode. That episode's so good.
It's great. Speaking of iPhones, Bug Snacks is on iPhones and iPads.
Oh,
but not Apple Arcade for some reason.
that is interesting.
So, or the Apple, not Apple Arcade. So you got to buy them. But hey, if you never played Bug Snacks and you don't have PlayStation 5 and you want to play it, I highly recommend it. It's got a very strange ending.
It's got apparently like, it's one of those games you're like, this is kind of cute, that it takes a turn.
It does.
And it's one of the most fascinating turns I've ever seen in a game.
It is indeed.
And I'm very proud of them.
Let's see. Lego Half-Life 2 is now available.
Oh, that's fascinating.
This is a mod. It's kind of funny. It's a mod that somebody basically like took the characters in Half-Life 2 and then replaced them with minifigs, but they didn't like scale them up, so they're all like
just tiny people.
like they're just like they showed the beginning part of the game and like everything is the wrong size. They're just like little minifigs.
Okay, but like the whole world is still like big.
Yes, and that's because the entire game is like they obviously have just replaced the character models with Legos, but it still kind of works, and it's still a little weird to like.
I kind of love this.
Watching Half-Life 2, watching Gordon Freeman, Lego Gordon Freeman fight people. I don't know why they didn't make the minifigs just bigger. I don't know why they didn't make I
think they just didn't have time to put that much work into that part of it.
Yeah, but it's
because if you make them too big, it just gets jarring.
That's true.
And so they're like the size what they would be in the Lego games is what this looks like.
It's true. Anyway, it actually works surprisingly well. For something, it's kind of amazing how much Half-Life 2 has held on for how goddamn old that game is.
It's always surprising because I'm at the point where if I talk to young people, they probably don't even know what the story to Half-Life is at this point.
Sure.
They just know them as the weird fucking character models they see in like
Squiggle Toilet.
Yeah,
what is
whatever
that
the fuck it was called.
Skibadoo or like Skibadoo Toilet? Is that?
Like the SFM videos. Those things are fucking everywhere. And so people know them now as like the Gary mod models instead of like actual Half-Life things.
2004, 19 years old. It'll be the 20th anniversary of Half-Life 2.
That's fucking
next
crazy.
year.
How have those not been remastered? I'm always surprised.
That's a good question. I mean, it's because they're owned by Valve, and Valve is just like,
that's true.
Nah.
They'd rather just not do it.
Valve is the only company I know that's been sitting on like $1 million franchises for years and just like, do you want to make Half-Life 3? Nope. It's guaranteed money print. Nope. Portal 3. Nope.
Left 4 Dead. 3?
Left 4 Dead 3.
Anything?
Nope.
What like? And here's a card game. Like this game is terrible.
Yeah. Here's a VR game. Here's a new Half-Life game. It's only VR. Is PlayStation VR? No. RVR.
Fuck you guys.
Okay, God damn
Give us money. It's like, what the fuck, guys?
All right. Speaking of weird shit, one of retailer. I don't know how this works. One of the pre-order bonuses for Starfield at Best Buy is an ice cream sandwich. is an astronaut ice cream sandwich.
Oh, it's just astronaut ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, those they're not frozen or anything.
Oh,
So that's why you can just
they're just like freeze dried.
they're dehydrated
Okay.
ice cream, and they're terrible. Because I had them years ago because
Yeah.
when we went to NASA for when I was in the JRTC, and I bought one, and I was like, oh, this is fucking horrendous.
Yeah. Okay, well that makes more sense.
But the fact that it's a pre-order bonus is funny to me because to me it just sounds like we got a bunch of these and we don't know what to do with them.
It makes me remember. You remember when we went back to the Tears of the Kingdom, and it turns out that every other country in the world had better pre-order bonuses than we did.
Oh, 100%.
Like, there were just some like awesome pre-order bonuses, like a spoon, and I was like, "Ooh, I'd use that spoon."
I'd use a spoon. This is a fucking ice cream sandwich that is going to be one of the worst things you've ever eaten in your life.
It's gonna be like eating Neapolitan flavored styrofoam.
Yeah, because that's the thing that people forget about these things. They're dehydrated as hell to hell.
Yep.
So they can go into space with them.
Yep.
And that's what you're going to be taking a giant bite of.
You eat a dusty ass sandwich,
Yeah.
a dusty ass ice cream sandwich.
You could be like, "Oh, this is cool." It's like when you eat a ration.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh my god, rations! That sounds like a cool thing." When you play Metal Gear Solid, and then you eat a ration, you're like, "This is the worst fucking thing I've ever had in my life."
Dude, my dad used to buy. He used to go to the gun show all the time. He's one of those fucking guys, but and he used to buy like every year, once a year, he would buy an MRE and he would bring it home and he would eat it. When I asked him why, he was like, "Well, I ate these when I was in the army, and I want to see if they've gotten any better over the years." And so, like every year, he would try to find the new MREs that came out and buy one of them, and he kept going like, "Nope," and then throwing the whole thing away.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember my brother Sammy brought some over when he was in the Air Force, and I was like, "These are terrible."
Yep.
It's like, why would anybody eat these? Like, well, because you kind of have to because
Yep.
there's nothing else out there.
Yep.
You can't just like microwave something in the middle of fucking combat.
there's not a McDonald's anywhere.
Yeah, because he was stationed in Saudi Arabia for a long time. That's why I have a PS2 that plays like burn games and shit on it. 'Cause he got
modded.
it from there.
Well, speaking of crazy mods, last but not least, we got a brand new video, Michael, this week from our good friend Eli Handle B.
I love him so much.
And this is John Wick in Resident Evil 4. And it actually works really, really well.
My favorite is the case.
The case.
The case is my favorite gag in the
Is that
entire
he
thing.
he breaks open the case from John Wick. The thing I'm most impressed with is the way that he did the capture to line up these shots.
Yeah, holy shit.
Like, because the shots that John Wick fires like line up. I guess I can see where it looks like he might be cutting. Oh no, he cut out the villagers as well. But still, it works really well.
Yeah.
There's even a part where he's talking to the merchant, and it's the scene from John Wick 2 where he's getting outfitted to go to the party. And it works again surprisingly well. This guy is great at this.
He's so fucking good at it. And he only just keeps getting better and better at it.
Yep.
I still go back and rewatch a lot of his things. Like I rewatched the Indiana Jones one recently for an Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Because of the movie, and I was like, this would have made a good movie.
Yep. Like he's extremely good at what he does. Eli
He does a lot of Jim Carrey ones for some reason.
He did what was the last one? Before
Adam
this
Sandler
was
one?
Adam Sandler in
What was
God
it?
of War.
God of War, yeah. And that
from
one
Big
worked,
Daddy. It
and that
was
one
very
worked
weird.
surprisingly well.
It was very weird.
He makes some interesting choices, and I can't help but love him
But the
for
fact
it.
that the action lines up so well. I guess the last one that he did was Borat in Resident Evil 4.
That one was so fucking good. I lost it at that one because it's like, why is this so well done?
Yeah, he's very good, you guys. Everybody should go subscribe to Eli_handle_B .wave because his stuff is really good and I like it a lot. It's very, very good.
That shot right there alone is so well done. It's him with like one of the villagers pretending like it's his mom or something.
His grandma,
grandma.
or whatever.
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's really good. He's very good at what he does. And that is our show for this week. I only had to cut like 4 things, but I think we got through it. And we are only 20 minutes over time.
That's not a lot.
Not for what we did, not for what we covered.
Yeah,
like
not for what one of us doing these things.
yeah, it's been good eating for you podcast chompers out there.
I'm also more awake now than I was at the beginning of it somehow.
I've been putting caffeine tablets in the water. So, Michael, why don't you tell them where they can find you when you're not over here helping me out?
You can find me on oneofus.net. I do movie and television reviews there.
Cool. And as for me, you already know where to find me because you are here. But if you want to help out, you guys go to patreon.com/RageSelect. Help us out. Just do that. Next week, we're going to have to catch up. I don't know. Chances are that next week is going to be something stupid, right? We have like all the news in one week, and then next week it's going to be like no news. There's just no news at all.
Just nothing at all.
We're just going to convert this into a channel where we review, I don't know, man, like soda? Something. I'm tired. Get out of my podcast house. Bye.